The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning.
Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is currently hiring experienced and entry-level HVAC technicians. Apply today at standardheating.com.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. 93X.
Happy Halloween, everybody!
Everybody knows Halloween is just a free pass to dress like sluts. They just have to call it a costume.
You know what I love about Halloween? It's the one night of the year chicks use to unleash their inner hoe bag.
I hate Halloween, you know. My favorite day is the day after Halloween, because that's when you see all the sexy girls in the costumes doing the walk of shame back home. I love it. Because a sexy kitten isn't sexy anymore, you know. She's got a broken ear. The sexy bunny is missing a tail. They look like the abused pet commercials from the Sarah McLachlan, you know. Like, this sexy cat lost its tail banging a pirate, you know.
These popular Halloween candies. See now if your kid got some of these and brought them home tonight. Okay, here we go. Nice crispy treats. Good and clammy. Malted meatballs. Well, that doesn't sound that bad. And the number one least popular Halloween candy, Tootsie Roids. Happy Halloween.
Showtime!
Music has been taken out of this portion of the Half-Ass Morning Show podcast for licensing reasons.
Here we are firing the show up with Thriller by Michael Jackson. Is this the liquor talking? Or did somebody on this program say that they learned how to do this dance in junior high for gym class? Am I making that up?
I didn't.
Yeah, it wasn't me.
I performed it in show choir.
You performed
when I
it
was in junior high.
show choir.
I didn't know you were in show choir. How'd you get so awesome?
All right, so that was the liquor. I swear to God, somebody said they learned how to... What, Wapple?
In elementary school, we learned the Men in Black dance.
Maybe that's what I was thinking.
And it was cool because the sixth graders, you know, we went through K through 6. So the sixth graders were the old kids in the school. So
Old-timers.
They got to do the dance, and it was like, oh, I'm in 5th grade. Can't wait till I'm in 6th grade. Get to wear the sunglasses, do the Men in Black dance.
It was something that you look forward to.
Oh, yeah.
So year after year, they did the Men in Black dance.
Yeah, every year, like, each grade had a specific dance that they did for this dance recital that the whole school would have to watch.
My God, your school sounds terribly lame.
Oh, yeah.
There was a dance recital every year.
Yeah, because it was like the dance unit, so everyone had a different dance that they did.
Now it's the dance unit. So I'm not familiar with the Men in Black dance.
Yeah, I guess I'm not either.
What does that mean?
I can't picture it. Is it from the music video?
No, it was just a stupid dance that they made up. It was like a line dance, and then you dance to the Men in Black song.
Okay, so your class made up the dance. It had nothing to do with the movie other than the fact that the kids dressed up like Will Smith and Tommy Lee or whoever the hell the other guy was.
You got to do like a little turn around when you were moving. You got to slide a little bit.
That sounds like dancing.
Yeah.
Sounds like dancing to me. Ashley, happy birthday.
Thank you.
26 today?
Yes, sir.
Did you see the little gift I got you?
Yeah, thank you so much. These are awesome. Josh got me butcher knife earrings.
I thought it was appropriate.
Yeah, these are sweet.
You have some deadly earrings to wear.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Happy birthday, Smashly.
Thanks.
When are you going to get your act together? You're 26 now.
You got a few
now
years.
I have to. I pay for like my own health insurance now. So.
Oh, I remember you were talking about that at the casino a couple weeks ago. You're like, I just signed up for health insurance for the first time.
That is a milestone in one's life, isn't it?
Yep,
Absolutely.
that's like the last thing I have to look forward to, right? 26 is like
it's all down. Actually, it's all downhill from here.
The dirty 30s are pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you got that to look forward to.
The 30s have been my best decade by far.
Yeah, don't F up and have a boyfriend when you get into the dirty 30s. Don't F that up because that's where it's at.
When I was growing up, I was always like, man, can't wait to pay for my own health insurance.
Oh, everybody gets excited about that. People get pumped.
I know you know how to break up relationships, so I don't have to give you any hints or anything, but just don't have a significant other when you get into the dirty 30s, by God, or you're doing it all wrong.
All right, sounds good.
Okay.
You've never led me wrong before.
No,
so.
I have not. Happy Halloween to the brother and sisterhood out there, by God, our loyal, wonderful listeners. Happy Halloween. Although if you look outside, it looks more like a January day than it looks like October 31st.
Yeah, I saw the news guys say it was going to snow. I didn't know it was going to be quite what it was.
Yeah.
I could barely see on my way in.
Yeah, I didn't think it would stick around too on the roads.
Now, you could make an argument that this would suck, but I appreciated it. I was stuck behind a snowplow my whole way in, so I had a freshly plowed freeway to drive in. Yeah, I'm going half speed, but at the same time, it was pretty easy.
And you've got a badass new truck, too.
Well, I'm using a loaner, and the tires suck on it.
Oh, do they? Oh,
yeah.
All right.
You want to drive mine?
Nope. Nobody wants to drive yours. I'm not even sure you want to drive yours.
Not in
Yeah,
the winter.
I wasn't aware this deal was coming. A little snowstorm. But that's how you operate around here. You never know what's coming.
I lucked
So
out
there
in the
you
way
go.
that with the how cold it's going to be. This year we're letting our youngest go with buddies on his own, so I don't have to walk out there with them.
Ooh, that's nice.
Be interesting
Finally
to see-
that age.
Be interesting to see how far they make it. We'll see.
With the weather being so cold?
Yeah, when we were kids, we would have shifts. Basically, we'd plan out our route. We'd go empty a pillowcase, come back, go out again. We'd go as late as they let you.
Yeah, we had dual pillowcases we brought at all times when we were that age.
I saw a family last year with a wagon that they just kept dumping the candy in. It went
That's
for
awesome.
So this will be a test, Josh. You'll get a good reading on how tough your son, more importantly, my godson, you'll get a read on how tough he is tonight.
Yeah, because they're on their own. They can make their choice.
It's going to be a little windy and, around 30 degrees. How long do you think they let her buck?
I doubt they're going to be out there more than an hour.
Oh, yeah?
We'll see.
Do they have to go?
Because two of the kids just moved into the neighborhood, and they're from out of the country, and they're not used to this type of cold.
Sure.
And I mean, a couple days ago when it changed, already one of the kids was thinking, "I'm never going outside again." On Saturday, thought this is ridiculous.
Do they have to go far to get to the good houses for candy?
I'm not so sure, to be honest, who gives out what. You can always tell who's giving out the candy corn, pennies, or apples because their house is on fire on Halloween night. Somebody started it on fire.
If you walk up to a house and it has eggs just like sliming down the front door, you know that you don't need to knock that doorbell.
Yeah, they're giving out toothbrushes at that one.
You're letting him go all on his own like a big boy.
Yeah, he's a big boy this year. We'll let him go.
Do you think he's going to get in any trouble?
No, I don't think so.
No. He doesn't seem like the vandalizing type.
No, they're not going to do anything like that.
I got my candy stolen one year.
Like from bullies?
You did.
I'm so sorry, Wapple.
Well,
That's sad.
They weren't like bullies. They were
like little girls?
Yeah.
I'm not surprised to hear that, Wapple, that somebody thumped you over the head and took your Halloween candy.
Yeah, they
I
were
think
one of
you've
my-
told us this story before. Go ahead with this.
Yeah, it was one of my buddy's older brothers and their friends. And
long-haired, hard rock, pothead type characters?
no, this was more jock type.
Oh.
Yeah.
Since when did jocks pick on nerds?
So we were walking around, then all of a sudden my buddy, he called them the one friend a nickname that he did not like.
Hey, Pizza Face, how's it going over there?
Yeah, it was Food Box.
Food box.
Yeah, because he always ate, and he always came to everyone's house and ate all their food.
And that bothered him?
Yeah, it bothered him the whole time. So that dude started chasing us and probably ran like 4 or 5 blocks when we were on bikes, tackled us, stole our candy. Yeah.
I think that's what a bully is. I think I would classify that as a
Well,
bully.
wait a minute. They're the ones who popped off first and called him Food Box.
Yeah.
Maybe it sounds to me like you and your little nerd friends had it coming.
It was one of those moments when he was like, "Oh, I'm totally gonna do it," and I'm like, "No, dude, he's gonna kick our ass."
You don't
And of course,
pop off
my
to
ass
the
got kicked.
JV running back, You don't pop off to that guy because he's pissed off he's not on varsity.
Yeah, it's a little different. He called attention to himself in that one.
That's true.
You're right.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. The kids wandering around up and down the street tonight, trick-or-treating on Halloween.
That'll be fun.
I've never been in a neighborhood where it was a real, massive crowd.
Where I grew up, it was.
We never really, I never had that experience even as a kid.
I grew up in Minneapolis, and it was a big thing. I mean, sometimes they'd line the streets with like those lighted bags, the little fires in the bags. And
Oh,
then
sure.
Sometimes even the cops would put out some barricades so kids could walk in the street and stuff. It was a really big deal. But like you, since I've moved, bounced around different suburbs, it really hasn't been much a thing. But, people will text in and say, we got 140 kids last night, or they a ridiculous amount.
That'd be so cool.
My folks live up in a small town up by Lake Mille Lacs, and they just get pumped on Halloween. The doorbell never stops ringing. Small towns, I think you're more apt to have that because everyone's kind of boxed into a small area. You see what I'm saying to you?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Where, you get to some of the Twin Cities suburbs. They're so spread out. But anyway, I mean, we still had our fun. I didn't care if there was 8 kids out there or 800. We still had fun on Halloween. I'm just saying, even when I was a kid and all the way through today, I've never lived in a neighborhood where it was a real goat rodeo on Halloween. A few kids wander by, 45 minutes later, you might see another group of kids. It's just, that's how it's played out.
St. Paul was good, too. We had family out there, so we'd, kind of bounce back and forth between the years. They were always good. But, like I said, we'd be out there as long as our parents would let us. Mm-hmm. And God bless my dad. I mean, he'd be out there with us the whole time. He'd let us go.
Same.
I think it's because he was too cheap to buy candy the rest of the year, and he thought this will last a while.
Stock up. I'm handing out candy for the first time this year. I'm very excited. I've never gotten to do it because I've always lived in apartments ever since I left my folks' house, and...
They don't do that in apartments?
You don't really. No real kids in any of the apartments I've lived in, but I'll be at my girlfriend's place tonight, and I'm excited to hand out candy. I've never done it before.
Well, don't F it up.
Yeah.
Are you going to dress up at all, like
good stuff.
Super Mario or something?
Yeah, I was actually going to dress up in my Roddy Piper costume and come in today, but then I saw it snow, and I'm like, I don't feel like wearing a kilt right now at 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah, I think we're going to try to have a fire to try to get more kids over to our house because we're in a townhome community, and we got like one kid at 8:30 last year.
Well, I'll tell you what.
My girlfriend was pretty upset because she's
also your landlord. Nothing drags in children like strangers sitting around a fire.
That's so true.
Yep.
Dana, where was I going with Dana's his first night of trick-or-treating? I had something and I lost it. Oh, don't put on a costume.
No,
Josh, I think, maybe you'd agree with me. When I was a kid, whenever you'd approach a home for trick-or-treating and an adult would answer the door in costume, the first thing I always thought was, dork. Right? I remember as a kid, I was like, why are you dressed up? You're a grown person.
Yeah, that's a good point.
As a kid, little kid, I thought it was pretty cool. But yeah, when you get older, middle school age.
Yeah, I don't want some 12-year-old roasting me.
I mean, wait a minute. Unless it's really, really scary, then I think that's cool. When the adults try to strike deep fear into the hearts of the children. I think that is I think that's a fun gimmick for the adults to do. So I say, if you're going to dress up, make it something absolutely horrific that will scar these children. Because I remember when I was scarred by frightening adults on Halloween. I think I've probably told the story every single Halloween for the last 25 years. But if there's any memory from trick-or-treating as a kid that I'll take with me until the day that I die, was this couple that lived down the street from our neighborhood. My brother and I, and our next door neighbor is how you say it, Pistol Pete from across the street. There we headed out trick-or-treating. My dad was with us because we were pretty tiny little kids. And we go ring a doorbell, and the door opens. And this was just a couple that lived in this house, no kids. There's the dude. And he's decked out in this vampire outfit. It was awesome. And he was kind of a creepy looking dude in the first place. Long hair, handlebar mustache. And now he was like the Doobie Brothers Dracula. You know what I mean? he was awesome and very scary looking. And he didn't, smile, hi kids, all that friendly stuff. He just said, go on inside. Take your pick of candy. And we looked beyond him, which was tough to do. We were pretty focused on, oh, Jesus, is this guy going to stab us to death? You're a little kid, you really get scared. So we look beyond him, and there's his wife laid completely still in a casket that's filled with candy, a real casket.
Oh, wow.
The lid is open, and she's laying completely still as if she's dead. And so the challenge is, what kid has the balls to walk up and actually pick a piece of candy out of this casket with a lady lying in there pretending as if she's dead? Well, I mean, you know how it is when you're a little boy, You don't want to be the one that punks out, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So my brother goes first. He tiptoes up. He takes a piece of candy. He walks away. She never moved, never blinked. She's just staring up at the ceiling like she's a dead carcass. And then I went next. And I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. And I tiptoe up, and I grab a piece of candy, and she does nothing. Next up, Pistol Pete's like, well, she's not going to do nothing. And Pistol Pete walks up, grabs his piece, and she grabs him and pulled him into the casket with her. She pulls Pistol Pete into the casket, and my brother and I ran faster than we ever have in our entire lives.
That's kept me from going up to houses with the kids. 10 years ago, there was a lady dressed as the Ghostface Killer sitting out by her light post she had out front. And I thought it was just like she had just set it up like a, dummy, like which happens, right? They get you with that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And she scared the bejesus out of me.
Yeah.
So I won't go up. Like if there's a scarecrow sitting on bales of hay next to it, and they always play it just like Nick said. First kid fine, second kid fine, third kid gets it. Yeah. They lull you into a sense of, well, that's just a dummy. There's no way, and they jump out at you.
That was a beautiful thing. I don't remember any other adults in costume. Look, I'm a cute whatever. No. The scary route, you'll remember that. Mm-hmm. Kids will talk about you, too.
That's true.
They've grown old.
When you show up to the house where the guy's dressed up like My Little Pony and you're not sure if he knows it's Halloween.
Right.
Those are the houses you stay away from.
Make it count. Make it scary. If you can.
Yeah, I hope everybody has fun. Anybody going to a Halloween party tonight?
Hell no.
No, I get to go eat barbecue food, though, so I'm pretty excited about that. I can't go wrong.
I always like to eat barbecue food. This is for your birthday?
Yes,
dinner?
sir. Yeah.
It's a Halloween tradition.
Dickies?
No, Big Guys Barbecue. It's in North Hudson because I play pool on Tuesday nights, so I have pool tonight.
It stresses me out.
In that area.
She drives an hour to play pool on Tuesday nights.
It's like 48 minutes.
And
There's a difference.
One way.
You're right. There is a 12-minute difference depending on stoplights.
It matters.
She's been doing this for years. But like I said a few minutes ago, when are you going to get your act together?
Well, now she's got that bougie ride.
Yeah.
So I bet you don't mind driving.
Exactly.
Who in the hell drives near an hour to shoot pocket billiards on a weeknight? There's no bars, or there's no beer halls in your neighborhood that have a friggin' billiard table?
Nah,
one
not
in
the
her
same.
basement.
It's not the same kind of people.
Oh, for God's sake.
Not the same kind of people.
Not the same kind of people.
Yeah, I've been playing pool with them for like 5 years. So,
Fair enough. There's no talking her out of it.
Yeah, I know. I've tried.
It's stupid. What else is going on? So I have in front of me some stats and data about Halloween 2023. And just some of this stuff is the same old boring stuff. Here's our favorite candy. Here's our least favorite candy. I don't know. That doesn't grab me. Unless anyone desperately wants to hear our favorite candies. Do you care?
No, it's the same every year.
Yeah. And then, we're going to spend this amount of money, and this percentage of us are going to go to a party. Some of us are going to carve pumpkins, all that crap. But there were a couple of notes here that I would like to throw your way because I think it's interesting. There's an average of, I don't know what the average is on any other day, but it says here there's an average of 770 house fires on Halloween.
What?
What's going on there? I know
candles or jack-o'-lanterns or something.
Oh, that's gotta be it.
That's exactly right.
I'm an idiot.
Or even like electrical going wrong with all the lights.
That's gotta be. I was sitting there going, okay, at Christmas, I know we have a lot of house fires because people don't take care of their Christmas tree and this and that.
People trying to deep fry turkeys.
Yeah, true.
Same here.
Are we burning houses down on Thanksgiving now?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, with the deep fried turkeys.
Yeah, because people won't sit their turkey out to let it defrost, so they just throw pretty much an icicle turkey in the deep fryer and it explodes.
And people get really hurt with that.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Really? I've never heard these stories.
Really?
Yeah. I mean,
they talk about it every year. I'm surprised you haven't heard that. Yeah. And then there's like news reports on here's how you do it correctly.
Well, wait a minute.
They try.
Early morning news broadcasts will bring on the fire chief, and they'll be like, "Here's how to do it safely."
A deep fryer.
Yeah.
Okay, we did that one year. We deep fried a turkey, but we had it outside. Well, it's like a big barrel.
Yeah, well, some people, they think it's too cold to go outside, so they try to do it in their garage.
Or on the deck or something.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I was sitting there wondering, wow, where are people putting that thing in their kitchen?
Some people have put it in their kitchen. Though.
Yeah, I've seen a picture too.
Okay, yeah, we did it outside. That was many years ago. Okay, then you guys, you got it. Then you figured it out for me. You got your pumpkins. You forget to blow the candle out on the pumpkin. You got lights everywhere, because I forget that, I never do much for Halloween at all for decorations aside from tonight. I do have a pumpkin. I didn't think about some of the things you mentioned.
I already saw there's two homes this year throughout the country that have burned down from Halloween trees. Some people are getting Halloween-themed trees now instead of just Christmas trees.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Oh, I've always wanted one of those. Yeah, they're usually like black trees, too. Black or orange.
They look like they've already been burned down.
Mm-hmm. They're cute.
That's cool.
I mean, this is pretty dark here, but, kids get hit by cars on Halloween more than average. Yeah. So keep an eye on those friggin' kids, and look out for the damn kids when you're pulling into your neighborhood and whatnot. I'm not trying to... I would hate to think some 11-year-old is listening right now with his mother, and this is going to ruin Halloween for him, because I think Josh and I have shared stories where if our mothers would have heard these stats when we were, 9, we would have been locked into the house on Halloween. Right, Josh?
That's right.
It's going to snow tonight. You're not going anywhere. I heard there was you know what I'm talking about? What was the thing?
If it was too windy, my mom would leave us inside.
We both had mothers where if there was severe weather, we weren't allowed to go anywhere. So I'm sorry if there's a 9-year-old kid listening right now, and I just mentioned the kids get hit by cars and your mom's going to lock you in the house now. But the other one that grabbed me. No black cats are put up for adoption in the month of October. By some shelters follow this routine. 0 black cats are adopted out to protect them from Halloween-related abuse. What the hell does this mean?
Maybe just somebody's going to use it for some type of social media thing or some weird, I don't know. But yeah, that kind of...
Witch things?
Yeah, it kind of struck me too.
Witch things?
Yeah, I don't know.
What does that mean?
Maybe like some type of weird sacrifice situation?
Oh, no.
Well, I'd also read further on this that part of it, too, is for the folks that go, oh, wouldn't it be great to have a black cat for Halloween, and then come November 1st going, we can't take care of a cat.
Yeah. Oh, sure, yeah.
What were we thinking?
Then they just left
it poops in the house.
Yeah.
Hey, look at it sheds. We don't need this thing.
So then they just kick it out the door
They
and
return it,
it's on its own. Oh, they return it.
Yeah,
Oh.
bring it back.
This thing's defective. It poops in the house.
Halloween-related abuse. That one got my attention, and okay, maybe you guys got it already. They don't want to adopt them out because then folks will just bring them right back once Halloween is over, or, God help us, Ashley mentioned some kind of deep, dark house pet sacrifice, which I want no part of that. There you go. What else is going on around here?
I was going to ask Ashley, another one on the list was 57% of Americans said they would consider purchasing a haunted house to live in. Would you have, because I know you just bought one, if you're looking at 2 homes, one was haunted, and everything else seemed the same, would you purchase the one that was haunted instead?
I think it depends on what level of like what
Did
kind
they
of
give
thing
you a level?
occurred there. Like if there was like a massacre there, I wouldn't be able to live there.
No, none of us would.
But if it was something, I don't know, something smaller.
Let's say it was like a psych ward from 1908.
Oh, see, that would be cool.
Something
That
like
kind of
that.
stuff is intriguing.
Prior house pet sacrifice.
Oh, no,
It'd be way more creeped
No
out
dead
with
puppies.
the psych ward than the murder house.
Oh, no, see, that'd be cool.
No, because then you got crazier ghosts going on from people that died there.
I don't know, maybe we'll have like something in common though. So
You're
then they'll
watching
be fine
too
with
many
me.
movies there, Wapple.
Oh, I could not do that.
Too many movies.
And too many ghost hunter shows.
Do you watch those shows?
I did back in the day. Like when they had like a haunting, and then they always had ghost hunters on after that.
They always seem so forced.
Or a cat from hell.
There's some members of the Brother and Sisterhood that are ghost hunters that travel around the country looking for this stuff. Last time we talked about this, we got a couple texts on it. I had no idea. Would you like to go on one of those ghost hunting excursions, anybody?
Oh, that'd be so fun. Yeah.
Absolutely not.
I would, as long as I could be home by 9 p.m.
Right.
Oh, yeah, true. It's probably really late.
Yeah.
Are you talking about where they just wander around a supposedly haunted house and everyone claims that they heard, smelled, and saw something?
Yeah, and then it gets real cold
I
just
would
in one area.
I would rather go to jail for the evening than be involved in one of those.
I would do it with Chris Jericho. He gets involved with those.
Does he really?
I didn't know that about him.
I'd do it with Sammy Guevara if Sammy Guevara had a ghost hunting show. Anyway, so there you go. This is it. Halloween.
Insomniac Jesus said around Easter with return pets, chicks and bunnies, same type of thing.
Oh.
People will get their Easter bunny and then return it.
What the hell's the matter with people? Didn't we, everybody rush out and get a pet during COVID, right?
Yeah, a lot of people tried to return them.
Has this become a problem now?
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's returning their pets now?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it was. I'm assuming it's over at this point.
Well, yeah, or people, like pets that they got during COVID are super attached to them, so like they can't be left alone at all.
No one left the house
for
a year and a half straight, and then you finally, I got to up and go to work, and the dog says, what's going on here?
What's work?
God dang. All right, you're a terrific crowd. Again, happy Halloween. Everyone have fun and be careful tonight. Don't get run over. We got plenty going on this morning. We'll take a break and come back on the Half-Ass Morning Show.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show.
Our experienced and certified technicians at Standard Heating have been trusted to keep our fellow Minnesotans comfortable and confident for over 90 years. We're ready to do the same for you, providing comfort you deserve since 1930.
And now is a great time to join their team. Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is currently hiring experienced and entry-level HVAC technicians, dedicated to improving the work-life balance of their employees by providing benefits that include parental leave and 401k match. Apply today at standardheating.com.
Stupid news on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
There you go. Yeah, we're locked and loaded. Ready for another edition of the Stupid News. But I got to make mention of this. When we were playing advertisements a few minutes ago, Josh, I heard that our favorite death metal act, Dying Fetus, is heading back to town for another live concert.
That was pretty exciting.
Yeah.
What a great Halloween gift to us.
I didn't catch. Yeah, right. I didn't catch where.
I think it was 3 nights at U.S. Bank Stadium.
Oh.
No, wait, let's look that up. I don't know if that's it.
The venue, Faster Pussycat is coming to that same venue.
It looks like Skyway Theater.
Skyway Theater?
Sure.
Dying Fetus, they were just here like a month ago.
They'll rock that place.
They must have had a hell of a crowd. They're coming right back.
November 11th.
And Faster Pussycat's going to be... I loved them in high school, Faster Pussycat. I couldn't get enough of that first record.
Wow, the show's going to be done at 11 p.m. on a Saturday.
Who?
All right.
Dying Fetuses?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's nice.
I love that they put that on there.
Yeah, 6 to 11.
For you death metal fans, I know we covered this last time they came to town.
It's the Make Them Beg for Death tour.
Yeah. We mentioned that, a month ago.
Cool tour name.
I made plans to go see a show Saturday night. You want to hear about this one, Josh?
Which one?
Saturday night at one of my favorite places in the whole wide world, Medina Entertainment Center. I'm going to see a show called Vintage Cruise, the music of Michael McDonald, Kenny Loggins, and James Ingram.
Oh, nice.
That's cool.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
This is a one act?
Yeah,
tribute act?
It's some kind of tribute band that plays the music of Michael McDonald, of course, the legendary voice of the Doobie Brothers, Kenny Loggins.
Awesome.
And James Ingram, who I remember the name, but I'd have to look up some of his singles. Did James Ingram sing On the Wings of Love, hoping the two of us together? I don't know. Was that James Ingram or was that somebody else?
I'm not sure.
On the Wings of Love, anybody?
I love a good tribute act.
Yeah, I love a good one.
I actually don't even mind the bad ones.
I've seen some bad ones.
There was a time where there was a Springsteen tribute band here in town. I'm a big Springsteen fan, if anybody didn't realize or know that. But my wife found it, and she's like, "Oh, I want to take you there." And I was like, "Oh, okay, that's sweet." But I figured it was gonna suck. I thought it was gonna be lame, because I've seen them live so many times. I know the real thing so well. And I get there, and the band was so good. Within a second, I'm in the front row. I'm jumping up and down. I'm screaming and having the time of my life, to the point where when they took a set break, my ex-wife pulled me aside and she goes, "I'm glad you're having fun, but I need you to look me in the eye and acknowledge you realize that's not actually Bruce Springsteen, right?" Because I was just that into it every single second of it.
You got to try to dial it back a little bit. I apologize to music fans here. On the Wings of Love was recorded by Jeffrey Osborne. I apologize.
No Rest for the Wicked, my favorite Jeffrey Osborne song, or I should say album of all time.
There's nothing better than when Jeffrey Osborne appears live with Zach Wilde.
How cool was it when Billy Joe Armstrong, lead singer of Green Day, he jumped on stage with a Green Day tribute act?
Yeah.
They didn't know he was in the crowd. Can you imagine? If you were the singer, wouldn't you think, well, son of a bitch? I guess I'm done.
I had a chance to get laid tonight, man.
Nick,
okay.
You can't go to Dying Fetus. It's November 11th. You're going to be at Little River Band at Medina.
Right. Okay, yeah, that gets in the way of the Dying Fetus show. Okay, and just to correct myself, James Ingram, okay. One of his biggest hits. Baby, come to me. Won't you put your arms around me, baby? Dee-dee-dee. Baby, come to me, James
Sure.
Ingram. Okay.
I listen to Love 105.
Fine. Fair enough. Today is Halloween. If this is the big one for you, if this is one of the big holidays and you just can't stop touching yourself, well, good for you. Have a hell of a time. Hope you have a great time. Some people hate Halloween. Oh, they
Weirdos.
hate it. They hate it. This effing guy in Chicago hates Halloween. Or maybe he took too big a hit off of the methamphetamine pipe. I can't say I'm positive. A night or two ago, a dude upped and set fire to the Halloween decorations in somebody's yard. And then when he was done with that, he went down the street a little ways and he cut the heads off all the Halloween characters in some other yard.
Whoa. Making it more scary.
Wow. That is not right. I mean, people work pretty hard, don't they, Josh, to create those setups for Halloween?
Absolutely.
And here comes old...
And some of them can be quite expensive depending on what they're doing.
Sure, you spend all your money, you set it up.
The kids love it, the neighbors love it, most of the time.
And then here comes old meth pipe McGee, and he's got to come uncorked because his pecker is small or something, and he ruins every damn thing. It was a 34-year-old fella called Mario Munoz who went through with this act of vandalism. He was arrested. One of those Ring doorbell cameras caught Mario in action as he was cutting the heads off the inflatable Halloween characters. And now he's in real trouble. He's been charged with arson and criminal damage to property. It sounds like maybe Mario likes to set all kinds of things on fire. Halloween displays. Garbage cans were set on fire in some other neighborhood earlier this month.
You've been known to set the sheets on fire from what I hear.
Oh, I'll be damned. When I was a young man, I could give her. Scarecrows were set on fire somewhere else. Scarecrows.
Oh, I bet those are really flammable.
The cops think that maybe that was Mario, too.
Is he the reason there's so many house fires on Halloween? This guy alone?
They're all set by Mario.
Yeah.
In the Chicago area, you might be right.
Fire, 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 fire.
Oh. Folks in the neighborhood. Folks in this neighborhood with all the fires, they're wondering why someone would do such a thing. One dude in town said, "It's a fun holiday, and you're ruining it for everyone and putting people's lives in danger. Stop being a bitch," the guy said. I don't know if Mario heard that or not.
Saw his mugshot, and I don't know how a guy with that cool of facial hair can be that big of a douchebag.
Does he have great facial hair?
I thought it was pretty cool.
Give me a look if you have an opportunity.
I can do that.
Something that you don't see every day?
Oh, no, it's common.
Oh, it's common.
But he can rock it pretty well.
Digital Crystal Jesus has texted the show to say, "I don't hate Halloween. It's just I haven't been 7 in 25 years."
I was telling these guys off the air, ever since 2009, Halloween's always kind of left a sour taste in my mouth.
All right, you left us with a riddle there. What happened in 2009?
I was graduated the first year after I graduated college. I was pretty much unemployed, working part-time at a radio station, living back with my folks. My girlfriend had just cheated on me at a Fish concert in California. And then I went to a Halloween party where I proceeded to shart myself.
Oh, that is quite the night.
Yeah, it was quite the run of bad luck there.
So awful.
God,
Your girlfriend cheated on you with a hippie.
Yes.
You said with a hippie?
Yeah.
Well, some dude at a Fish concert, so I imagine he's wearing one of Wapple's drug rugs, and, was really into the jam band, man.
He borrowed my drug rug before he went out there.
Wapple's like, make sure you bang my future coworker's girlfriend with this.
Boy, I had a buddy who was into Fish, and he was the guy, right? He would travel, everything. Mm-hmm. He was the first person I ever heard of marijuana edibles from. And in high school, he used to make those things all the time.
Yeah.
He was older. He had graduated a couple of years ahead of me, but he was always on the road following them. And he had a van. I mean, he couldn't be more stereotypical as a Fish fan.
That's almost 2 on the nose.
No kidding. Your girlfriend cheated on you with a Fish fan.
Yeah.
That's pretty bad.
That's rough.
I could accept, say she runs off and cheats on me with a fan of Night Ranger or Loverboy, Foreigner, name a lot of bands, Kool and the Gang, the Commodore. I could say, okay,
Yeah,
I get
it.
it. Those are some great tunes that you were, but Fish? Mm-hmm. I can't say that I've ever heard one of their songs.
I don't know if I have. I'm sure we have.
I had, because I also have friends like Josh that are super into Fish. They travel, they do the drugs, they love them, and a couple years ago, we were at a bachelor party in New Orleans, had some small dive bar with a jukebox, and they put on some live 17-minute rambling Fish song, and it got to the point where the bartender just storms out from behind the bar and just rips the plug out of the wall. He goes, enough!
God.
This Bouncing Around the Room, is that their well-known song? Okay.
That and looks like Farmhouse.
Never gotten into that
Sample
style.
in a jar.
I'll give you a sample in a jar.
I've made a couple of those.
I've never been dialed into what they do. And by the way, Josh, you showed me a mugshot of Mario, the guy who's setting all the fires and cutting up all the Halloween decorations in Chicago. I see what you mean by cool facial hair. And if you're not able to see the picture, he's one of these guys. I don't think I've ever tried this before, but it looks like something easy that any guy could try. He grew the full beard, and then he shaves off just the chin.
Oh.
You see what I mean? So it's almost like an Old West gunslinger type look.
Yep.
So the chin is bare. Other than that, there is a beard.
Kind of want to try it, but I don't know if I could get as bushy around the sides as he
could.
can.
Yeah, you could.
I totally could.
You grow a terrific beard, Josh. You do. And the dude also looks quite a bit like Rudy Gobert. Just for the record. Okay, we got another one of these situations where somebody's Halloween decorations out in their front yard has the neighborhood pissed off. We read a few of those every year where somebody throws something out in the yard for Halloween and the neighborhood no likey. In this case, the display is across the street from an elementary school, so folks are extra uppity about this. I didn't see what the decorations look like. Did you, Josh?
So the news report didn't really show much other than like a skeleton on the ground with its arms behind its head, like maybe reaching out in ecstasy or something. Yeah, I didn't see. I bet it's on social media, and I don't have an account.
Yeah, I watched the news story on the internet, and I was hoping that they were going to flash some of these supposedly inappropriate Halloween decorations. They did not show much, apparently.
Same with the still photos I saw. It didn't really show much.
Maybe because they didn't want to offend their viewers. But anyway, this display is in a town called Lakewood, Washington. The story says the setup features skeletons in various sexual positions. And parents of the kids at the grade school there have been complaining.
I mean, you'd assume, right? You put something like that up, someone might say something, but if it's across the street from a grade school, somebody's definitely going to say something. And maybe that was their intent. They wanted that to happen.
Sucks living near a grade school. It does. For most of my life, I lived near a grade school.
Me too.
I didn't know the rules. I remember when I was, maybe late teens, early 20s, I turned to one of my buddies. Well, because there's a strip mall just a few blocks away from where I spent most of my life, where I grew up. And then when my folks retired, I bought that house. So the majority of my life, I've lived in that neighborhood. There's a strip mall just a few blocks down from my house that, they'll throw in a pharmacy and it'll close within 6 months. Then they'll put in a friggin' whatever, there's always empty buildings in this strip mall. And one day I said, why the hell doesn't anybody put a friggin' bar or a Hooters or a strip joint in this mall? And my buddy said, you can't because it's too close to a grade school. And I said, son of a bitch, get that grade school out of here.
Wapple's actually not legally allowed to live near a grade school.
For good reason.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I grew up right across the street from one.
Yeah, I never knew the rules. Did you know the rules?
Well, I was a kid, when I lived there. But, yeah, I've heard, also with how late certain things can stay open if it's close enough to a school.
Really?
Oh.
There's a 24-hour fitness across from a school in Egan that's not allowed to be open 24 hours.
Why? Because what does that have to do with the school?
Well, there's like a neighborhood covenant. I was told it has to do with the school. I'm not sure.
That encourages...
late night exercise?
Yeah, poor sleep habits or something? Yeah, so I was crushed when I heard that news because I always had high hopes. Mm-hmm. Someday they're going to put a strip joint. Someday there's going to be a Hooters. And then they dump that information on me. There can't be. There's friggin' grade school. Idiots. So anyway, back to this situation where a guy has a supposedly filthy sexual setup for his Halloween decorations, and the damn grade school across the street is pissed. The homeowner has refused to take down the display. And I like his style. However, I got to say I was kind of turned off when I read a statement from the homeowner. I didn't read a statement. In the story, they mentioned that the homeowner put a sign up in his yard in response to all the complaining. This is where I kind of got turned off to the homeowner because he wants you to know that he's hip. He knows all the latest trendy phrases and whatnot, and he's not afraid to use them. The sign in the yard now says, "Dear Karen, challenge accepted.
Gross.
Next year, try being polite." So I was on this guy's side, and then I heard his statement, and I thought,
You ruined it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stop being so sensitive. You can tell I'm not by this very irritated note I'm putting on my friend.
There's very few phrases that irk me more than challenge accepted. I don't know why, but I just go sideways when someone says that out loud. The school has now gone ahead and put up a privacy fence of some sort around their playground so the little kids can't see skeleton butt play or whatever's going on across the street. The school's working with the local police department to see if anything can be done about this obscene display. Well, Halloween's over here, so I imagine you won't have to bother with it too long. I think we already talked about a Halloween display in Utah where skeletons are swinging from a stripper pole, right?
Yep.
Because you get this, town to town every year. How about this one? This is good. A dude in New Orleans has a display out front his house that features a beheaded Jesus.
Whoa!
A friend of mine in high school beheaded a Jesus, and I thought
that
he was going to go straight to hell. And I mentioned before, he is a priest. He became a priest.
Huh. He found the light.
He did.
And I like what this dude said. The dude who had the beheaded Jesus in his yard, when he was challenged on his setup, he said, "It's not a real Jesus."
No way.
Well, that is a relief, I'll tell you. It's not real. Like the real Jesus, not him.
I had a buddy once who we were walking back from somewhere. We'd been drinking at the bar. It was right after college, and there's a nativity display type of situation, the plastic things. And
sure.
He runs up in there and he grabs the baby Jesus. He runs in the middle of the street and spikes it. I'm not like a football. I'm not a religious man, but I'm like, that can't be a good omen.
He spiked baby Jesus.
Yeah.
Like Michael Irvin in Super Bowl 26 or whatever, playing for the Dallas Cowboys.
Exactly. I think bounced pretty high, too. He really put some effort into it.
That's how you do it. You'll have to see the pictures of this effing scene, I think, to wrap your head around it completely. Maybe Smashley can tell me in a minute or two if it's up on our website. This isn't something I'm familiar with. A juice store?
Yeah, you've heard of like Jamba Juice, I'm sure. Something.
Oh, that makes sense now. I was reading this in a juice store in Australia.
This is up on 93x.com.
It is?
Yep.
Wonderful. Do any of you just go to the juice shop around here and get a can of prune juice or something miserable like that?
I do not.
No, it's been a while.
No? Anyway, they've got one of these joints in Australia, a juice shop. they've been criticized for going too far with their Halloween decorations. They've got fake severed limbs strung out across the place.
They're pretty good. I thought they were pretty realistic.
Yeah, they were.
Not all of them, but some of them definitely were.
You know what made them look realistic, Cubby? They look wet.
Yeah.
Wet. I'll explain here in a minute. The store is in a shopping center called, oh, God, take it easy with this kind of talk. The store is in a shopping center called the Cockburn Shopping Center. The staff at the store have been forced to take down the decorations after pictures of the fake bloodied hands and feet were thrown onto godless social media. The person who peed herself and put the pictures up on Facebook said, "I think it's appalling to have something this graphic where people walk by. I don't understand what severed limbs have to do with Halloween.
What?
This is just appalling to have for a shop, in my opinion."
She's such a hater.
That's what she is. She's a hater. What does she
Challenge
drink, Ashley?
accepted.
What does she drink?
What does she drink?
Yeah.
Not juice.
Oh,
Haterade.
Yeah, she's a haterade
I
drinker.
was gonna say, obviously not juice.
She wasn't the only one in town who came undone over fake rubber hands and such. This is hilarious. One person who saw the display said that they looked like, quote, real-life injuries. Well, yeah. That's what they were going for. You know, I saw a fake pile of dog poop once, and it almost looked like real dog poop. Yeah, that's what they're trying to do. Stupid ass. Sounds like this neighborhood struggles when it comes to having a sense of humor. But like what I was saying earlier, they got the fake severed hands and feet, and there's something about they appear to be wet or moist that does make them look very real, right, Josh?
Yeah, and just the way the skin is kind of peeling away, I thought that looked pretty real too.
Yeah. Not everybody is nuts in this neighborhood. One person posted, "Kids being scared for 2 minutes isn't a world-ending moment. It's not that hard to explain that these are fake." And I agree 100%. But the joint took them down. My guess is it ain't easy selling juice for a living, and even having 2 or 3 people walk out of your shop might be a threat to your bottom line, so I get it.
Those places do seem pretty busy, though.
Yeah.
I don't know how it goes at the Cockburn Gateway Shopping Center.
Yeah, every time I go past the Jamba Juices they have in the Mall of America, those are popping.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They put any booze in there?
Oh, that's a good idea.
Don't believe so.
No.
I bet if they put a little whiskey or some of that effing PCV oil or whatever you potheads like so
CBD.
much. What do you call that again?
CBD.
CBD oil in that juice.
Oh, I wonder if there is stuff like that now.
Throw that into it.
There is.
Like the stuff that's doesn't get you high.
Yeah. I'm sure there are.
Throw some of that PCV into the prune juice, and I bet maybe you'll get some longer lines over there. But anyway, I gotta say, and I know you guys will agree, Halloween mugshots can be a lot of laughs.
Oh, they're the best.
Oh, yeah.
I know when we've had troopers on in the past, we always ask, did you pull over a butterfly or a gnome or something like that? Those are great.
Halloween mugshots can be a lot of laughs. Some dude gets pinched for a DUI, and there he is, his mugshot. He's dressed as effing Popeye the Sailor Man or a poop emoji or something like that.
Or he's like a disheveled princess or something.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. A guy in Florida was arrested just a couple days ago while dressed as a banana.
Classic.
He was dressed as a damned banana. Oh, he's a student at the University of Miami. I bet that's miserable.
But there's no hot girls there whatsoever.
I bet it sucks to be a student at the University of someone hollered at a cop. This is how it all started. Someone hollered at a cop and said a man in a banana costume was taking a squeege on the side of a building. And he was. The banana turned out to be a 20-year-old kid named Kyle Mortimer. And the dumbest part is he was right across the street from a row of, as Wapple and Ashley would say, porter potties. He was right across the street from some portable toilets, but there he was, taking a whiz-bang on the side of a building. It was a keeper, too, for Kyle, because he was still going when the cops walked up on him. Then he took off running.
But that's not easy to do in a banana costume.
And he had a plan, too. He ran in a zigzag pattern to make it harder for the cops to catch him.
Oh.
Smart. But they grabbed him. He's facing charges of disorderly conduct and resisting, how do we say that? Resisting arrest. And yes, he was still in his banana costume when they took the mugshot. Mugshot's pretty cute, Josh?
Yeah, unfortunately, it's not a full body shot, but you can see, the top of him. He's got the banana top.
Mm-hmm.
Not a mugshot, but kind of similar. My buddy one year dressed as Gumby. Do you know who Gumby is, actually?
Yeah, I know who Gumby is.
Big green guy with a little angle on his head. Anyway, he dressed as Gumby, and we talked about, I wonder if people with fake IDs could probably easily get into a bar because they're in costume, makes them look.
Yeah.
We were 21 at the time, but that gave him the idea, and he goes in his room and he prints off a little thumbnail image of Gumby's head and taped it over his picture of the driver's license. So when he shows his ID at the bar, there's a picture of Gumby where his regular photo is.
Did it work?
The bartender was not amused, or the bouncer was not amused by it whatsoever.
Oh, come on.
We thought it was pretty funny.
That's cute.
Union Drywall Jesus said he couldn't get into the porter potty because of his banana costume.
Oh, that might be.
I didn't consider that.
I don't know why in the F I didn't consider that either.
Tall.
Stupid. I'm a stupid bastard. Has public urination ever gotten any of yous in trouble?
Buddy of mine,
No.
he almost had to register as a sex offender. Mm-hmm. He peed across the street from a grade school. It was like 2 a.m, so obviously there's no kids around.
Oh,
Again,
that
with the grade
sucks.
schools ruining everybody's fun, right? Again, with the grade
Well, it wasn't
school.
necessarily the grade school that did that, but yeah, he got a public urination ticket, and they tried to make it into some sort of sex offense.
That's scary.
He was terrified. He thought, so I'm going to have to get in trouble. I'm going to be labeled a sex offender because I peed at 2 a.m. across the street from a school.
Yeah, that's awful.
I had a buddy who got one in college, and they put him on public or probation, don't pee outside again for a year.
He got a ticket?
Yeah, he got a
for
ticket. Public urination. Yeah, in
okay.
college and campus at the U of M. Cop got him. And it was 364 days later, so he was 1 day away from being off public urination probation, that he got pinched again.
No.
We ripped him so
Well,
much.
what was the setup? I mean, where was he the first time? Where was he the second time?
Both times just outside a bar. It's peeing in the alley.
I remember one of the most angry my mom ever was at us was when we peed in the alley on the garage.
Oh, really?
She was furious for the public urination. Ruined my wedding reception. It's terrible.
I almost got myself in big trouble many years ago. I was very drunk in a little small town up north. And we were hitting a couple of these little roadhouses in this tiny little town. And I'm sure you've seen this setup before. This neighborhood bar the building was obviously somebody's house 50 years prior. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they didn't change the design much at all. They gutted the inside and turned it from a residential house to a bar. So I think because I was so drunk and walking into this facility looked like a residential home, I had it in my head that I was at somebody's home and not a bar. We went out to the back patio. It's not anyone's backyard. This is the patio property of this drinking establishment. But I had it in my head I was at somebody's home, and, we're standing on the patio drinking and jaw-jacking, and I just took 3 steps off the patio onto the grass and started taking a big fat whiz. Like you would in someone's yard, but like you shouldn't do on a bar's property.
Yeah.
And one of the bar managers tugged me on I got my D in my hand. He tugs me in the shirt and goes, "What are you doing?" Now, so I'm taking a whiz. And that's when it dawned on me. I'm lucky he didn't call the cops on me. He was very forgiving. But the whole friggin' crowd out in the patio is roaring with laughter at my stupid ass. I'm just standing there letting it go. Uh-oh. Here on Halloween, a story from Death Valley, California has come into play here in the stupid news, and this is effing ridiculous. Now, first off, don't get me wrong. Tarantula spiders are scary looking.
Yeah, they are.
The tarantula from the Brady Bunch episode where they go to Hawaii still haunts me to this day.
Well, actually, remember when we had those really awesome bug people in?
Yep.
And they brought that tarantula and they let it crawl on my arm?
Not really, no.
Yeah,
but anyway.
You didn't seem to be too affected by that.
Yeah, because if you actually, like, after being that close to the tarantula and looking at its little face, it was actually kind of cute. I thought maybe these things aren't that scary.
Did it tickle while it walked up your arm?
I made sure my sleeve was down.
Oh, okay. Yeah, makes sense.
You stomped the hell out of that thing, if I remember right.
No.
Yeah, they were really mad.
No.
To cross paths with a big bastard tarantula would be a tense experience for most of us. But not if I'm in a car and the tarantula isn't. Some folks visiting California from out of town, Switzerland to be specific. Folks are visiting California from Switzerland. They were driving down a road when they saw a tarantula crossing the road.
I don't know if I'd even recognize the tarantula was crossing the road.
I think it's a leaf.
These friggin' folks stomped on the brakes to avoid hitting it and caused a big damn car accident that sent some poor bastard on a motorcycle to the hospital. The motorcycle rider crashed into the back of their van, and now he's all effed up. That is ridiculous. I'm guessing these Swiss folks just didn't want to hurt the spider as he was lollygagging across the road, but come on, that's effing dumb. According to the story, the spider made it across the road just fine, probably giggling his ass off at what he's just seen with his dozen eyes or whatever they have. How pissed off would you be if you were in the passenger seat?
And you found out that's what happened?
Yeah.
Or that poor motorcyclist or his family?
Your buddy screeches the brakes because a spider is crossing the road? I would think, are you overdosing on drugs, or what are you doing, you know? I think I got time for one more, maybe two. A couple days ago, summers around 3,000 dorks all dressed in Spider-Man costumes got together in Buenos Aires, Argentina to try and bust a Guinness World Record. 3,000 people in Spider-Man costumes, and they, I guess they all have a stupid internet influencer to thank for this. An influencer set this up. The influencer is called Yuki Dean, is my stab at the name. Yuki. Anyone?
Never heard of him.
He or she organized the event. Word is the number of spider dorks ended up, like I said, around 3,000. The largest prior gathering of people dressed as Spider-Man was set just a couple months ago in Malaysia. Of course, Malaysia. Where
Spider-Man hotbed.
Right. They piled up 685 spider nerds for that. So
they got destroyed.
Yeah, this record is far outnumbers the prior. What's this say? The nice thing is the grown folks dressed as a kid's comic book character also filled the truck with food to be donated to a local charity. That's wonderful.
And I bet every single one of them recreated the Spider-Man meme of the three of them all pointing at each other.
Oh, I love that meme.
I wish I could tell you that this is all over and the new Spider-Man costume record has been set, but the folks at Guinness are still doing the arithmetic on this. They're not going to say jack squat until everything has been added up.
Oh, so I hope they get it.
I got to leave you hanging on this one. Good luck sleeping tonight, right?
Not gonna be able to.
Did you look at any of the Spider Babes?
I did not.
Hubba hubba.
There were Spider Babes?
They sure were.
Can I maybe take a look while we're playing this next series of commercials?
I think you probably could.
Sports on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
We did learn that Kirk suffered an Achilles tendon tear yesterday up at Lambeau Field. We're in the process of determining kind of the next steps and timeline, what's in the best interest for Kirk, and allowing that process to play out so we can make sure he gets the best possible medical care that he can. We're going to miss him. There's no doubt about it. We're going to miss him.
Well, there you go.
It's too bad.
Yeah.
Was that old Kevin O'Connor talking about Kirk Cousins? Was that the voice of the head coach?
It was, yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's it for Captain Death Rocks, huh?
All done, yeah. Does that screw up anybody's fantasy football team here?
No, thankfully, no.
That's good.
I don't get involved in such things. But I've been reading a little bit of this and that about who might be coming to town. It's not any of the fun names we talked about yesterday. Not really. No one's really said anything about Jameis Winston or friggin' Cam Newton, which would be so much fun if Cam Newton came to town because he's hilarious, he's incredible at football, and Randy Shaver hates him.
I think that's your favorite part. He's
I
a snappy
love that.
dresser, too. We can talk about all that kind of stuff. He'll wear a weird hat. He doesn't care.
Let's quit screwing around. He's like one of the most gorgeous people on planet Earth, Cam Newton.
Very good looking.
Jesus. Boy, yeah, he puts on fun outfits. Guy likes to have a few laughs. So does that Jameis Winston. I want guys in town that know how to have a few laughs. They're not going home at 8:30 like Kirk Cousins and behaving all the time. That's boring. I'm primed to bust a spring live on the radio over last night's Timberwolves game. I'll save it for Randy Shaver when he joins us later, who is partially to blame for their loss last night in Atlanta. So I'll save it for when Randy Shaver jumps in. But they had they had a great first half, had a nice lead, and then they just absolutely whizzed it down their leg. This happens way, way too often with the Timberwolves over the last couple of years, and I don't understand why they cannot correct this. It's just horrible. What happened last night was horrible. Especially, I told you I was going to save it for Shaver. Thank God I'm saving it for Shaver, right? I'll get to it later.
This isn't it?
Oh, God. Game 3 of the World Series in Phoenix last night went to the Texas Rangers. They won 3-1. We'll make sure we cover all of that. Monday Night Football last night, Detroit beat the Las Vegas Raiders. And I hate to tell you this, Cubby, but folks online were saying some pretty nasty things about your guy, James Garoppolo.
Oh, yeah, I read some of those. They're just jealous.
I didn't like it. And we're going to start up some kind of social media page to get back at those people. We will be back with Josh's news in just a few minutes.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show.
Our experienced and certified technicians at Standard Heating have been trusted to keep our fellow Minnesotans comfortable and confident for over 90 years. We're ready to do the same for you, providing comfort you deserve since 1930.
And now is a great time to join their team. Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is currently hiring experienced and entry-level HVAC technicians, dedicated to improving the work-life balance of their employees by providing benefits that include parental leave and 401k match. Apply today at standardheating.com.
Half-Assed Morning Show. 93X.
If you find yourself in an aggressive driving situation, delayed traffic, what have you, calm, patience. Take the time to slow down.
A suspected case of road rage took an unexpected turn Sunday afternoon in Florida just before 4 p.m. Caught in slow-moving traffic, a driver in a red pickup became agitated and began focusing his attention on the victim, police said. As traffic cleared, the suspect drove alongside the victim's vehicle, speeding up and slowing down, yelling and using hand gestures. No matter what the victim tried to do, the man wouldn't leave him alone. The other driver ignored the suspect. However, the suspect slowed again and displayed a firearm this time, eventually pointing the weapon directly at the victim.
Here we go.
Unfortunately for the idiot in the red pickup, the other driver proved to be a cool-headed off-duty state trooper.
In this case, he picked the wrong person to deal with.
He sure did. The trooper reported the encounter to the Florida Highway Patrol, who eventually caught up to the suspect, 32-year-old Matthew Ryder.
We were able to locate him and went to his house and made an arrest because once he pulled up, the troopers were already there waiting for him.
He was charged with 3 counts each of unlawful display of a weapon and aggravated assault.
That's a beautiful thing.
Isn't that great? I love the cops, just totally cool. You know, no big deal. I'll handle this.
Oh, a gun, huh? Oh, that's cute. That's cute. I got one of these, too. Yeah, I got one of those, too. Why don't you pull over right over here? Why don't you take a seat right over here?
I also have a bunch of buddies who have those as well.
Yeah.
A man who believed he was playing a real-life version of Grand Theft Auto led cops on a wild car chase in which he detonated a pipe bomb.
Whoa.
Uh-oh.
The crazed man started his video game-inspired rampage at St. Peter and Paul Church Sunday in San Francisco, where he received communion before assaulting a member of the congregation seemingly out of nowhere. After the assault at the church, police responded to the scene and spotted the suspect driving away after he was chased out of the church by other churchgoers. As cops pursued the suspect across the Bay Bridge, the unidentified man was seen hurling suspicious devices from the window of his vehicle, which were later determined to be a pipe bomb and a Molotov cocktail.
We believe that the suspect threw out an explosive device at the officers. The officers described not only seeing the flames of the device that hit the ground, but also the officers could feel when the bomb detonated, they could feel the blowback from that in their vehicles.
At the time of his arrest, police said the suspect asked, quote, "How many points did I get in my Grand Theft Auto game?"
Oh, boy.
A police spokesperson said in 23 years of doing this stuff, this is probably the most bizarre.
That's not good.
A New York man is accused of pulling a gun on a person who mistakenly delivered a Halloween goodie bag to his porch. That person was a 6-year-old boy.
It's unnerving and very sad and very upsetting.
Really, really scary, and it's disturbing. I mean, especially because this neighborhood is a safe neighborhood full of kids.
I hope he's out of danger now.
Dude, you need a gun to handle a 6-year-old?
Yeah, I guess I was a rough 6-year-old. It was about 7:25 p.m. Saturday when a 42-year-old mother drove her daughter, 2 sons, and a nephew to a home about 20 miles east of Manhattan. She did so the woman's 10-year-old daughter could drop off a Halloween goodie bag to her friend.
Mm-hmm.
Upon arriving at their destination, the daughter and her 6-year-old brother got out of the car and approached the house with the bag full of candy. They rang the doorbell and left the treats on the front porch before returning to Mom's car. However, the 10-year-old girl soon realized the address she had used for her friend may have been incorrect, meaning she and her brother had dropped off the candy at the wrong house. The mother turned the car around and went back to the home. The 6-year-old then got out of the vehicle, grabbed the bag so they could bring it to the correct house. But before the little boy could return to the car, the front door opened. A supposed grown adult stepped out of the house and then pointed a handgun at the victim's head and yelled, "Get the F off my property." 43-year-old Michael Wen was charged with endangering the welfare of a child and has a court date for the middle of next month.
He's not okay. He's not doing okay.
How do you look at yourself in the mirror?
Yeah.
It's a 6-year-old boy.
Mm-hmm.
A second teacher at a small-town Missouri high school has landed in hot water for supplementing her income by peddling porn on OnlyFans.
There you go.
You may remember we talked about another teacher at the same school. 31-year-old Megan Gaither, an English teacher and varsity cheerleading coach at St. Clair High School, was put on leave Friday after her X-rated moonlighting job was revealed. The teacher said she joined the subscription-based site in May to help pay back more than $125,000 in student loans.
I shouldn't be told what I can and cannot do with my private time. We don't make a livable wage. Most people in my profession have second, third jobs.
Her colleague, Brianna Coppage, a former English teacher at the school, recently resigned after she was placed on leave when it was revealed she was running an OnlyFans page of her own with her husband. Gaither said that she deactivated her OnlyFans account, which had about 1,500 subscribers, after Coppage's account was discovered by school officials. But rumors began to circulate among students when she appeared in a video on Coppage's account. Although her face was not seen in the video, which was shot at a party in St. Louis, a photo from the event appeared online, which showed her wearing the same outfit she had on in the video. Then a student slipped a note under her classroom door that read, "I know your secret."
Oh, no.
Gaither and Coppage said they didn't know they were both on OnlyFans until June, when Gaither made an offhand remark at a teacher's night at Busch Stadium. She said the district put her on leave, and she's trying to determine whether or not she's just going to resign and move exclusively to OnlyFans.
Josh, this is the greatest school in the entire world.
Yeah, dude, and they didn't even know.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a couple of friends who said, yeah, we should try this out.
2 teachers getting naked on OnlyFans at the same stinking school.
Can you imagine being the kid that discovered that information and then got to tell all your friends, hey, she's on OnlyFans?
You may remember the first teacher we talked about after the news broke, and, you know, this went worldwide, this story. She raised her prices on OnlyFans.
Smart girl.
Going to cost you a little more now.
I like how the other one's just like, oh, I'm totally going to get caught. The other one just got busted. I'm next.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I would think I'd do the same thing, right?
Yeah.
The greatest school of all time.
Sporting a blue and white Mickey Mouse hat, a 46-year-old named Edwin DeJesus decided to explore the empty campus of Evangelical Christian School on a Sunday afternoon this month. At about 1:18 p.m., he was able to weasel his way through the locked gates to the front of the private school located in Fort Myers. Once inside, he started roaming around the outside, trying to open every door in his sight. Having no luck, he still wasn't ready to give up. He spotted the lid of a Tupperware container on the ground near the cafeteria and tried to pry open the locked doors to the school. Again, he got in the gates, but wasn't able to get into the school.
Okay.
After being unsuccessful yet again, he decided to begin his next side quest, entering a school bus. His tour of the bus was short-lived. Around 2 p.m., he wandered to a golf cart near the school's football fields, where apparently he fell asleep for 3 hours. He woke up at 5:08. The first thing that caught his eye was a pair of boxers lying on the back of the golf cart for some reason. He examined the underpants and decided he wanted them, so he called them his own. Then he moved to a different golf cart. About 5:20 p.m., DeJesus made his way to the security guardhouse at the front of the school. He lingered in the empty guardhouse for more than 6 hours, devouring a security guard's pack of sunflower seeds. Then he left around midnight, 11 hours after his arrival.
Yeah, he spent a good amount of time over there.
Just hanging out. They were able to track him down at a gas station and make an arrest. According to a report, the school stated they will be changing the locks on the front gate to better secure the facility.
Well, there you go.
I've never seen a school that was walled off like that. Did you guys ever see something like
No,
that?
no, it's weird.
What was the purpose of such a thing?
I guess to try and keep guys like him out.
Yeah.
Must be a piss-poor neighborhood.
A Florida man tried to get his ex-wife's new boyfriend in legal trouble, but the effort boomeranged back on him, and now he's been charged with 2 crimes. Last Tuesday, the 44-year-old called the sheriff's office to report a threat against him. He said he was terrified. He presented responding officers 2 messages he stated were sent from his phone to his iPad. One stated, "I will kill your kids before they turn old."
My God.
Jeez. After reading the concerning message, an officer questioned the origins of the text, saying, "How did it go from your phone to your iPad?" He claimed it came from his ex-wife's new boyfriend, but he didn't maintain that story for long. After further conversation, it was revealed he actually created the threatening messages himself and texted them in hopes of getting law enforcement to go to his ex-wife's residence. After that alleged confession, deputies moved to arrest him, but he protested and attempted to pull away while saying, "You can't take me to jail," but it turns out they could take him to jail, and they did. He has a court date at the end of November. The recent incident is not the first time the 44-year-old has allegedly caused his own grief by asking law enforcement for help. In June, he was charged with 1 count of misuse of the 911 system after he had police respond for help with a child custody issue he was having with his ex-wife. When police showed up and asked him whether or not he was told that calling 911 was for emergencies only, he admitted he was told about 3 or 4 times not to dial 911 for non-emergency issues.
Yes, I was given that information,
Yes,
and thank you for asking.
He called back. He apparently dialed 911 a total of 6 times that day, and they ended up dropping charges in that case. The cops were familiar with him at that point.
This guy's hilarious.
Yeah.
I love the defiant, "You can't take me to jail." Yes, we can. Oh, all right.
Yeah, he gives up pretty quickly as well. Hey, this happened. Did it really? No. A teenager dangling off a bridge over train tracks in Queens was rescued by police and Good Samaritans. October 19th, a construction worker and 2 officers with the New York Police Department pulled the teen to safety after he was hanging on the side of the overpass. Crews had to reach over a railing and pulling up over a wall.
Buddy, come on, give me a hand. Got you. You're good. Have a seat right now.
All right, fellas.
Thank you, guys.
You can see this video on 93x.com. Witnesses held the legs of one of the officers as he helped rescue the teen. According to NBC New York, the teen climbed over the wall to get a closer look at the trains and then got stuck.
I get it. Trains are cool.
The young kids like to horse around, don't they, Cubby?
They do, and boy, did he look terrified, as he probably should have. I mean, luckily those guys were there to save him. Another teen was helped through a difficult situation this month, this time after a Minnesota doctor jumped into action over the weekend in an unexpected place. A family medicine doctor with North Memorial Health Clinic in Roseville was on a flight Sunday into Minneapolis when a teacher went into labor.
Young woman had gone into active labor over Oklahoma on the way here. It's a little scary because honestly, what can you really do on an airplane, but you want to show up for people.
I said teacher, I meant teenager. She and others helped coach the 19-year-old with her breathing and kept her calm. As soon as they landed, an ambulance took the teen to the hospital with the doctor following right behind her and took part in the delivery.
I was really privileged to be kind of her stand-in mom, and I was right there while the baby was born.
She gave birth to a healthy baby boy, and doctors say they're both doing great.
But
this is one of those, is there a doctor on the plane? And there was. Saturday Night Live just had a bit like that over the weekend.
That was funny. Dave Grohl pops up.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe I've seen it play out too many times in sitcoms, but that's one of my greatest fears, where I'm the only one that can help a lady deliver a baby.
Yeah.
Good God, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would do. I don't think I'm built for that.
2 people were arrested after a U-Haul truck filled with bags of marijuana crashed into the gates of a multi-use building in California. And unfortunately for the driver of that rented truck, that multi-use building in California housed both the Sierra Madre Police and fire departments. The chain of events unfolded early Friday morning after the driver reported he was shot. Investigators are trying to determine if and how the shooting actually happened, as the U-Haul driver had an unspecified wound to his arm, which police couldn't determine if it was truly a gunshot. At one point during the night, police say the U-Haul driver sideswiped a BMW and didn't stop. The BMW driver followed him to the police station and reported the incident. The U-Haul driver and a passenger were arrested for possession of narcotics after crashing into the side. The driver was taken to the hospital for treatment and on Friday morning was being questioned. The U-Haul truck was also moved to the station for the ongoing investigation.
There were cops and firemen loaded up in this building.
Yep.
I bet this dude interrupted one hell of a cribbage tournament.
I would think so. Or maybe a chili cook-off or something. Detectives in Nebraska found $1 million worth of marijuana and THC products in a van last week.
$1 million?
In a van?
After the driver called attention to himself.
Wait a minute. Why is it...
Because if it's $1 million worth, it all fits into a van? That's surprising.
I thought the more standout element to that story was $1 million. Ashley says, a van?
You'd think it'd be like a big warehouse.
Well, yeah, you're saying a van in reference to the $1 million.
Yeah.
The driver, he didn't necessarily do the right thing here as he called attention to himself by tailgating another vehicle. That being said, the driver does claim he didn't know what he was hauling. And it appears police believe he might be telling the truth. About 3:25 p.m. Thursday, a deputy pulled over a Mercedes van for following too closely just west of Lincoln. During the traffic stop, the deputy smelled marijuana, and the driver agreed to a search. Inside, they found 435 pounds of marijuana, 12,330 joints, 13 pounds of THC edibles, and 5,384 THC vape cartridges. The van was heading to New York from California, and police say they didn't find probable cause that the driver knew what he was hauling. A police spokesperson said he was just a carrier. An investigation is ongoing.
Well, yeah, this guy might have just been the driver man.
But you think, if the cops are walking up smelling marijuana, you think he might have some clue.
Yeah.
A collision on the Trans-Canada Highway east of Vancouver resulted in an hour-long light show Thursday night after the crash caused a cargo of fireworks to ignite. I sent this to you, didn't I?
Yep.
Ashley? Maybe a few days ago?
Yes. Yeah.
Royal
So you're gonna have
Canadian...
to dig.
Pardon me now?
I said yes, I'll have to put it on the top here.
Okay. Royal Canadian Mounted Police said a semi-trailer traveling eastbound collided with a pickup truck towing a trailer full of fireworks parked on the side of the road. The crash, which happened about 10 p.m., caused the fireworks to go off, resulting in flashes and explosions above the highway. Obviously, the fireworks were quite the display to passerby motorists, a police spokesperson said. A witness said vehicles on the highway slowed down or stopped to watch the fireworks show, which he described as, quote, the best fireworks show I'll ever see.
Nothing to see here. Please disperse.
Investigators are continuing to determine the cause of that crash.
Oh, boy.
As announced yesterday, Kirk Cousins' favorite band, Creed, are reuniting for Treasure Island's 2024 Summer Concert Series. See Creed with special guests Three Doors Down and Finger 11 Saturday, August 17th, 2024. Tickets on sale Friday at TICasino.com. We got a lot of response via text yesterday. Somebody texted in this morning saying that they're still on a high from yesterday.
Yeah, people are pumped for that show.
Pretty excited to see them. Game 4 of the World Series in Arizona tonight on Fox. Texas leading the series 2-1. Vanilla Ice 56.
Is that right?
Rob Schneider 60. Director Peter Jackson 62. Got a Halloween shout out to the Grand Avenue Paranormal Society from Sewer Lining Jesus. Shout out to Drunk Per Usual Jesus, going to his 69th concert tonight.
Sweet.
I wonder if that's Tool. I wonder if that's who he's seeing.
Oh, sure. I forgot Tool's in town, skis.
A great big 93X Brotherhood welcome to Texas Bitch Isaac Jesus, a new listener to the show. And thank you to Texas Carpenter for letting us know. Congrats to Ryan and the Mounds View football team for a great season from Uncle Brian. Happy birthday to just north of Sexy Quamba Jesus from Peterbilt Jesus. Happy birthday, Tiffany, from Mom and Dad. Happy 28th to Tyler from Uncle Jake, a.k.a. But You Didn't Mean Not To, Jesus. And, of course, a very special birthday to the greatest coworker 4 guys could ever ask for, our very own Ashley, who's 26 today. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
And that's 93X News.
KARE 11's Randy Shaver.
On the Half-Assed Morning Show.
I completely hate candy corn. Gummy bears for sure. It's got to be the Haribo ones. The other thing I like, they used to have the sprees in a box. Outstanding. You have to go to the dollar store to find it, but I do. There's still candy innovation. You know, they have those Nerds clusters, which is new.
The gummy.
Yeah, which is good. The Nerds clusters is good. And then if you go chocolate, probably Almond Joy.
Music has been taken out of this portion of the Half-Assed Morning Show podcast for licensing reasons.
Oh, man. The Halloween theme song played with an acid rock vibe?
Yeah, it's got a good rock version here.
You know who it sounds like? It sounds like, what was that band with Greg Allman's son in it? They had that real industrial sound. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
Greg Allman's son played in the band. Yeah, that's the vibe I'm getting. Welcome to the show. Happy Halloween also to one of the scariest old Iowegians you could ever meet, Randy Shaver. Hello, Randy.
Hello.
Hello.
What was that acid rock band, Randy, with Greg Allman's son?
Couldn't tell you.
No?
Nope.
You know Frank Hannon from Tesla, Josh?
Of course.
He married Dickie Betts' daughter.
Did he really?
I think that's how it played out.
Yeah, Dickie Betts'
Speaking
daughter.
of the Allman Brothers.
He's a great guitar player.
Who was that
Frank
audio,
Hannon.
that poor guy who died young, that football coach?
Mike Leach.
Mike Leach. Remember that, Randy Shaver, when he was rolling through his favorite Halloween candies or just his favorite candies?
Mike Leach is very much missed.
He was a fun person.
Oh, yeah, he was funny.
Yes.
And a candy expert. My God, he had a whole system and everything.
Dude, he mentioned those Nerds clusters. That is my wife's kryptonite.
Those are good.
She can go through a bag of those easy.
We've got those to give out for Halloween.
Oh, I'm going to Woodbury tonight.
You will be popular.
What are you giving out tonight?
Nerds clusters.
I don't think I've ever tried those.
Yeah, they're
So
like the
good.
Nerds ropes, but they're in little clusters. They're amazing.
Is something going on with you? You're speaking differently.
That's what he said.
I think he's drooling.
Oh, you were imitating Mike Leach.
Yeah.
I thought maybe you were having a stroke or something. The way Nerds ropes. I'm unfamiliar, but sounds great. It sounds delicious.
Yeah, you need to up your candy game, bro.
You just got candy shame, bro.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay if...
Dead Z is the name of Elijah Blue Almond's band.
Elijah Blue Almond. What a name. Dead Z. Yes.
Dead Z.
Our listeners know everything.
They sure do.
Absolutely every damn thing. So happy Halloween, Randy.
Same to you.
Do you get any young people at the... Well, have you been at the old home, old folks home at the Halloween time yet?
Oh, yeah.
You've been there a couple years now.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, we don't get any out here.
They don't allow young people onto the facility because they might be run over by a golf cart or something, right?
Yeah, you know,
A rascal.
It's pretty sparse.
Well, your last
this-
house...
Now, I will say there are some single-family homes that are being built not far from here.
Yeah.
Where I would assume there are kids and families, and we may see a little bit more than normal, but I would say it's very limited.
Randy's got some Werther's originals to hand out to the kids that come by.
I love
From
those.
2 years ago, yeah.
Checks for $5. Here you go.
You can't get it unwrapped because it's just melted.
Your house had a moat. So does the new place have a moat? You've famously told us people couldn't get across the moat at your last
That's correct.
place.
We haven't talked about that in a long time.
We did that for on purpose, and so yeah, it's we're all good now.
We haven't mentioned that in a long time. Ashley and Dana, sorry.
Yeah,
Ashley and Dana and Wapple probably don't even, maybe never heard those stories.
I haven't heard this story.
Randy's old mansion in Plymouth had a friggin' moat with a drawbridge and everything.
Yeah, it kept people out.
Yeah.
You keep the people out. Randy Shaver,
Keep the riffraff out.
Understandable.
What was Halloween like in your neighborhood growing up down there in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, back in the damn 70s?
It was awesome.
Was it a fun scene?
Awesome.
Pretty big deal?
Yeah, it was a big deal. It was awesome. I had a couple of friends in the neighborhood that, as soon as it started to get dark, probably 5:30, we would all gather at one house, and it would just be like a dead sprint, right? You go up and down our street, and then you'd go the street behind you, and then you would go the street on the other side.
You covered everything.
Covered about 4 blocks, and that was enough to have just a complete bag full of candy. So
good times.
Yeah, it was a great time. I loved Halloween as a kid. Yep.
And then would you come home, spread all the candy out?
Yep.
Do your trades?
Well, sure, but
we would do a little bit of trading, but it was more. My mom would always have to look at everything just to make sure there wasn't anything somebody put in there that shouldn't be.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Because you're not paying attention. People are just dropping stuff in a bag.
Right.
So it was always a quick check of it to make sure. And my dad would always pick through a few things for himself. Yeah. So it was always like, oh God, Dad, don't take that one. But
here's the pile you could go from. You
Yeah.
can't take this pile.
My wife, she does initiate the mom tax every Halloween night.
the mom tax.
My parents always took like the gross candy, so I was fine with it. Like the good and plenty, the sugar babies, the like the things I didn't want.
Circus peanuts.
Yeah.
Circus what?
Watch your mouth.
See, I can relate to what Ashley's saying. I was just going to mention that I never minded when my folks went through my Halloween candy to pick out a few for themselves because they usually picked the garbage.
Did you like those orange and wrapped? I don't know what they were.
Yeah, those are so weird.
I wasn't a fan.
Right in the trash.
Didn't like those.
Where I was going with this, though, was, Randy, would you then sit down with your Halloween candy and watch a scary movie before bedtime?
No.
You don't like those. I thought you said you didn't like those types of movies.
I don't.
No, Randy doesn't like scary movies.
Not a Halloween tradition.
I always like to scare myself pretty good before I went to bed on Halloween night while I was devouring as much candy as possible. I always like to watch something that I wasn't supposed to, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you remember this. I mean,
the best Halloweens, Nick, were ones that were on a Monday night, because that means when you got back with the candy, you'd watch Monday Night Football.
Oh, sure.
So
Okay.
you'd be back by 7:15.
Yeah.
And then you'd be able to sit in front of the TV and watch the football game and eat your candy.
Howard Cosell.
And my dad loved that because he didn't have to leave the couch. I brought the candy to him, so it was just perfect.
Oh, that's a dream setup right there.
Sit down and watch Howard Cosell and Don Meredith and who am I missing? Frank Gifford.
Frank Gifford.
Smaller but bigger pecker from Becker Jesus, Randy, wants you to know. His company is plumbing those single-family homes by your place. And he's going to come trick or treat, or he's going to TP you. He's not sure yet. Yet to be determined.
Oh, man.
Well, be my guest.
Yeah, that was the other thing. Once we got a little older,
yes,
Halloween wasn't about going door to door for candy, candy. It was time to raise some hell and TP some houses.
Smash pumpkins.
Get in some trouble. Oh, my God.
Smash the pump. We would never do that.
Oh,
I got grounded for so long for that.
My dad loved it when people TP'd my house because that was free toilet paper for him. He would go, I'm serious.
No, he would
go,
not.
Yes, he would.
He was a cheap man.
My father would go out and roll up as much of that toilet paper as he could get.
Why were they TP in your house, Randy? You weren't a nerd. You were an athlete.
Oh, there was always mischief going on.
Your dad
Sometimes it's just where the house is located, right? You know,
True.
I mean, if it's just on a busy thoroughfare and they can egg a whole bunch in a row, they're going to get you.
Well, that's true. There was a TP tree in my buddy's neighborhood that didn't belong to anybody, but it just was in a perfect spot. So when we were bored, we'd drape it with toilet paper for no stinking reason. Randy Shaver, your dad would then take that toilet paper into the house and wipe with it.
Yes, he would. Yes, he would.
You talk about the pumpkin smashing. We were terrible one night, and we combined pumpkins with mailbox baseball.
Oh.
And we did enough damage in our neighborhood to go to jail for a long friggin' time.
Oh, yeah, you can get in big trouble for that.
We bashed the living hell out of everyone's mailbox with pumpkins flying out the car window. Son of a bee. That was not good. I had no idea how serious an offense that was until a few weeks later. And
how are you going to know as a
same
kid?
here.
I thought to myself, what have we done? Well, Randy Shaver, there you go. Oh, maybe you remember this. Halloween 1978. What were you, like a junior in high school?
I was out of high school.
Out of high
in
school.
college. I was a freshman.
So you were 1 year out of high school. Halloween 1978. Did you sit around the TV and watch Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park?
I was a Kiss fan, but I'm sure on Halloween 1978, I was out partying someplace.
Yeah, you were getting some ass and drinking Iowegian beer.
I'm sure I was not watching TV.
I was a much younger person. Halloween 1978, and that was an absolute thrill. I couldn't get it out of my head weeks ahead of time because I was such a massive Kiss psycho as a little kid. And, of course, when I was 7, watching it on Halloween night 1978, boy, I thought it was the greatest movie of all time, and it is absolute dog feces.
I've only seen the one part where the lasers come out of the eyes.
Yes.
Sitting on a picnic bench or something like that.
It is widely panned as one of the worst movies of all time. But it is fun to watch. It's so bad it's become kind of niche-y as some movies, get that, they gain that kind of steam. Hilarious that, I think I sat my ass down in front of the TV as soon as school ended, and I didn't move until the friggin' movie came on. I was that pumped about it. Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park. There was a story going around that Paul Stanley and Gene Simmons were so embarrassed by this movie. It was such garbage that if you worked for Kiss anytime between 1978 and 1990, you weren't allowed to say that out loud, or they would fire you.
Kind of like the Star Wars Christmas special where George Lucas went out of his way to try to bury that for years and years.
Oh, yeah, they try to pretend it never was made.
Yeah, exactly. And then somebody, they taped it, and it got, once YouTube started, it kind of started recirculating, and now even local bars like Brian Lake Bowl, I know they have viewings of it every Christmas season.
Never saw it. You guys have all seen the Star. What is this?
No, I haven't.
I've only seen parts of it.
It's like Chewbacca's trying to get back to his home planet for Christmas. It's rough.
Poor Chewbacca.
Did this come out like right after the very first Star Wars? They were building off the success and the mania of the. Okay, so you've got your Mark Hamill and your Harrison Ford and
Carrie
your,
Fisher. She sings a holiday song.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
1978 it came out.
Same year as the Phantom of the Park. All right, Randy Shaver. We'll sniff some jocks here. I've been trying to tell myself that I'm going to keep my cool while discussing last night's Timberwolves game.
Oh, good luck.
But I am likely to full-on bust a spring.
Yeah, good luck.
Because I'm so tired of seeing this happen year after year.
Yeah, nothing has changed.
No.
I mean, how is it 3 games into the basketball season, they are back to their old ways again?
Right.
It's so frustrating to watch as a fan to see them blow a 21-point lead in the third quarter and just play ridiculous.
Horrible.
In the second half.
That was massacre. That was a disaster.
I just don't. I mean, it's a combination of players and coaching, and there's got to be some accountability with this team.
There's got to be a way to correct this.
Yeah. It's just not. You're not going to be a playoff caliber team if you continue to play ridiculous basketball like that.
Here's the deal. If you missed it, the boys were in Atlanta last night. They played a great first half. The Wolves did. Great first half.
Yeah, they scored 79.
Unbelievable. In the third quarter, the Hawks came roaring back, and Atlanta ends up winning by effing 14 points. The Wolves scored, 34 points in the entire second half?
Yeah.
And I'm not completely confused by how this happens, The number one problem is that the Wolves' defense disappears.
Oh, it's just...
That's one big problem. There was very little resistance by the Wolves' defense beginning in the third quarter. The Hawks would just stroll across the timeline, set a couple of picks, and someone would hit an uncontested jump shot. It was just way too easy. Yeah. Well, there's little to no defense at the three-point line.
You have to give Atlanta some credit, though. I mean, DeJounte Murray was like on fire in the third quarter.
Well, sure.
You can't take away from. But you're right. They're not putting hands in faces. They're not jumping screens. They're They're just giving Atlanta way too easy looks. And, this is the NBA, man. You give guys that kind of time to shoot and looks like that, they're going to make those shots.
I give Atlanta credit. They look like a terrific basketball team. I think the prior night they beat Milwaukee by 20-something. So this is a good basketball team. Yeah. I'd have a completely different approach here, Randy, if the Hawks beat the Wolves by 1 or 2 last night. You know what I mean?
Right. No,
but it was the fact that it was a complete massacre in the second. They ended up winning by 14. The other thing that you see over and over again with this team, when they start to tighten up, they start turning the basketball over, the offense tightens up. You can see it in their body language. The game is slipping away. Right. It happens way too often, year after year.
Just to put it in perspective, the third quarter and the fourth quarter, Atlanta doubled the scoring against the Wolves. Mm-hmm. That's a combination of really, really bad defense and terrible offense in not moving the basketball around. I mean, you were outscored 38-19 in the third quarter and 29-15 in the fourth quarter. I mean, that's a butt kicking.
Yep. It sucked. Half. It sucked. Yeah. And like we said already, I think once or twice, this is 3 games into the season. This is not good.
No.
To all of a sudden, it smacks you in the face if you're a Wolves fan. Oh, damn, nothing has changed.
No.
They were rolling early and looked like a stoned junior varsity team in the second half. Next up, the world champion Denver Nugget comes to town tomorrow night.
And the way the Wolves are, they'll probably play a great game.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Right.
It's just the roller coaster of this team is that they'll look bad against, and I'm not saying Atlanta's a bad team. They haven't played any of these bad teams yet, or these average teams like Detroit and teams like that yet. But that's kind of their MO. They don't play as well against teams they should beat, and then against the good teams, they go out and play lights out. So we'll see.
Okay. I have to lose my cool here. Well, I guess I already have. A listener just texted in. Why are you talking about the Wolves and not a word about the hockey player from Minnesota that died after his throat got cut on the ice in the U? No mention of it yesterday either or today, and it was a big story.
We brought it up 3 times yesterday.
Dude.
Yep, talked about it a lot yesterday.
We didn't talk about it very much during my segment, but you guys talked about it a lot.
No mention of it yesterday or today. Dude, the world does not begin when you turn on your radio. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to just say, I'm okay. I'm going to not lose my cool on this. We talked about it. I'm going to talk about it again today. I don't know. Sometimes people just piss me off. Speaking of being pissed off, massive pain in the ass part-time NBA ball player James Harden is now headed over to bother the Los Angeles Clippers for as long as he's comfortable there.
Yeah.
There's a trade, Randy.
Yes, there is. It happened late last night. Harden and P.J. Tucker and another player are going to the Clippers for Marcus Morris, Nick Batum, Robert Covington.
It's a lot of guys.
And draft picks.
For a guy who just doesn't seem interested in playing the game anymore.
Well, I disagree with that. I think it depends on the situation that he's in, but it sure seems like every situation he gets in, it just becomes a disaster.
Yes, it does. Because I think the guy's nuts.
Well, we all know he's very talented. And with the right team and the right mix, he probably will be very effective. In that group with Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, he'll probably fit in very well.
I want to go to Los Angeles.
So
that's my imitation of James Harden.
It was good.
Hey, you're on the Philadelphia 76ers. You guys got all the talent in the world. You could win a couple of NBA titles. I want to go to Los Angeles. I've never heard this one before. Kevin Garnett. He's got some kind of a podcast. He sits around with Paul Pierce, and they go back and forth. I think we've played some of their podcast stuff before. KG was talking about how the young players aren't tough anymore.
Have you noticed that this new generation heals slower than us?
Man, I don't know what the going on. I don't want to hear that man. They need to leave the doctors out of this. That's the problem. Bro, they told me I had a hole in my heart. You can't play. So if I would have believed that, I would have been like, oh, shit, my heart. Lord, mentally, bro. You hear what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just did 21 years with 2 heart murmurs, man. I don't want to hear that. Like, get the out of here, Doc. Move, Doc. You want to suit up? Ain't nobody finna tell me I can't. What you mean I can't suit up? What? Man, watch out, man.
All right.
That's actually like incredibly dangerous that he did that.
Well, here's the thing. This is what's so odd is so Kevin Garnett is questioning the toughness of the young players, but then he goes ahead and says that he had a hole in his heart when he played professional basketball, and doctors warned him. This is I've never heard him ever mention that before.
I've never heard that either.
Yeah.
That's the first time.
That's very strange.
Yeah, weird that wouldn't have come out.
Right.
And he's talking about how he would have, he played anyway. He's tough, this and that. I've never heard that story before. Is he? I don't know.
I mean, I think the discussion about being tough in the NBA right now is that a lot of, they've had this ongoing discussion about players sitting and load management and all of that discussion. There wasn't a lot of load management discussion when KG was playing.
Didn't exist.
Yeah, did not exist. And I think that's part of the reason why he goes off on that. And the NBA is, I believe they're going to find teams or do a little bit more to try to make sure that that star players do play as many games as they're capable of playing.
This story cracked me up. The other night, the Utah Jazz had a home game against the Denver Nugget, and the Utah Jazz radio team is getting all set for the broadcast, and then some doofus spilled a beer on their radio equipment, and they weren't able to...
No, that's a nightmare.
That seems like something that would happen to us.
Yeah. Yes,
but it would
it
be
does.
Ashley spilling the beer.
They got it going. They got it fired up, but I love that. In Utah, of all places, someone spills a beer.
Yeah, exactly.
I think they don't drink enough beer. They're not practiced enough in how to carry one from point A to point B. Was this funny, Josh? Giannis from the Milwaukee Bucks dressed up as Hulk, the green character Hulk.
The Incredible Hulk. Yeah, I thought so.
Right. I knew I was missing
I find him adorable.
The-
I sent that to you, Ashley, didn't I?
Yep, that's up on 93x.com.
The Incredible Hulk. Sorry, I knew I was missing something. And he did like a character voice. Was that fun? Is it funny? It's up on our website?
It's up on the website.
Do we need to play it? It's not worth playing?
It's not worth
Whatever. He's funny.
But he is funny.
What else?
Wasn't he the guy talking about sexy time for his birthday?
Yeah. How he and the wife were going to have sex.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. I think I have that.
After a game a couple years ago?
Yeah. This is it right here.
Might get a little bit freaky.
Okay, that's not it.
He's planning to get a little freaky.
Yeah, he and the wife.
Well, this is a new one here now. I've never heard something like this before. I'll do my best to explain this because it's very strange. There's a video going round and round like they do Randy Shaver. Former NBA player Joe Smith is in the video.
Former Timberwolf.
Right. If this is all legit and not just a bit to draw people in, I don't know if this is all. The video features Joe Smith's wife telling him that she now has a naked OnlyFans page, and Joe gets upset about it.
I can't believe I'm sitting here just finding out you got an OnlyFans page.
I have an OnlyFans page, and he's mad because he's just now finding out about it.
Of course I'm mad I'm just finding out about it.
I'm not doing it with anybody but myself, so why should I have to tell you my choice, my body?
Your partner, you're supposed to come to me and talk to
Joe,
me.
you knew who the fuck I was when you met me.
Before,
yeah,
I knew that.
thought that I would never have to go back to anything like
I knew
this
that
again.
beforehand,
But
but
unfortunately,
no.
that's not the case right now.
After that, everything's supposed to change.
So she puts this
Wow,
out.
is this like a private conversation that somebody recorded?
She recorded.
Yeah, she was rolling video.
She intentionally
and then she
recorded
put
this.
it out?
Yes, because we're all insane and will do anything for online attention. If this is legit and not just a bit to push her new OnlyFans page, that's how it played out. She informed him, hey, I have an Only, and he's saying, well, that's disrespectful.
Well, I don't blame him.
Yeah, they were basically having an argument and talking about it, and then she pulled out her phone and started recording the whole thing.
And then, at one point, I can't remember if I left it in there or not, but at one point he even asked her, are you filming me? I don't know if it was a bit to promote the OnlyFans page, and nowadays maybe it was. They both seem like pretty good actors. They seem pretty frustrated with each other.
Yeah.
His wife, her name is Keisha Chavis. She once went by the name Yasmin Penn Davis during her previous career as an adult actress, don't you know? Okay. You heard her defending herself, saying she's not working with other people. It's her body, her choice. And Joe Smith is saying that's nonsense. This is messed up. Smith doesn't like the fact that she didn't inform him about it. He seems to feel as if he's been betrayed. Isn't this just, I just don't get people anymore.
Yeah, I'd be pretty angry too.
You put that up just live on social media for everyone to see. But, of course, it will help draw more people to her OnlyFans. So it's not like, your average girl next door, I guess. She used to do porno movies. The NBA's new in-season tournament starts on Friday. Let's cover that later because I'm still in the dark on what this all means.
Yeah,
so confusing.
I think it's not happening like all at one time, right? It's spread out over time, and you don't really know if it's a tournament game or a regular. It's just
we'll cover that when on Friday maybe because
it's not what normal people picture as a basketball tournament situation. So
I can't figure that one out yet. Last night, Game 3 of the World Series in Phoenix went to the Texas Rangers. They won the ball game 3-1. They've now taken a 2-1 lead in the best-of-7 series.
I think they also lost Garcia and Max Scherzer last night, left the game, right?
I'm just going to make a prediction that that's not going to turn into a big deal.
Yeah.
He, had tweaked his back or tweaked something or another. Garcia did. I think he'll be okay. Scherzer also left a little early. His back was spasming and this and that, and he doesn't know if he'll be ready to go. I mean, he hopes to be ready to go if there's a Game 7. At any rate, Corey Seager.
Yes.
One of the best in the business.
Great player.
Smashed a dong in the third inning. It was a 3-run inning for the Rangers, and that's all they would need. Their bullpen did a terrific job. The Rangers are now 9-0 in the postseason.
On the road.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's what I meant to say. Yeah. 9-0 on the road in the postseason.
And that young Evan Carter kid who's 20 years or 21 years old was 2 for 3 in the middle of the. How about that guy in the middle of the lineup? Didn't play during the regular season, very little, and then jumps into this team in the postseason and just is lighting it up. He's just been amazing.
He became the 4th youngest player to hit cleanup in a World Series game. He's 21 years, 62
Who
days
are the
old.
Other ones?
The others are, I'll tell you right now, Miguel Cabrera, Ty Cobb, and Juan Soto, who were all 20 years old when they batted cleanup in a World Series game. They'll play again tonight, 7 o'clock on Channel 9. The Diamondbacks are going to try the bullpen gimmick.
Okay.
And the Rangers are going to go with, how do you call it, Andrew Haney.
Sure. Andrew Heaney?
Haney.
Yep.
Heidi Ho.
That Mr. Haney was on what was the name of the TV show?
Mr. Haney?
Mr. Haney was on Green Acres.
Oh, I never watched it.
Never saw a couple episodes of that.
Yeah, he was like the fix-it guy or the whatever guy. Yeah.
That was one of the few old-timey shows that it just never grabbed me.
Mr. Haney.
Did you like the Beverly Hillbillies?
I did.
I like that one too.
You know what else I couldn't get around? I couldn't get myself involved in My Three Sons too often.
Oh, that was awesome.
Sorry, I couldn't do it.
Fred McMurray.
Yes.
He was a funny dude.
Did you see on Twitter last night? I'm sorry to change the subject. Vikings related. And I didn't see anything on ESPN.com. I kind of looked this morning and I really didn't see anything about what the Vikings might do at the trade deadline today. But there was something put out last night by C.J. Golson about the Vikings and the Saints talking about bringing Jameis Winston here.
Ooh, that's exciting. I was
and trying to work out a trade.
Oh.
This was posted last night. Oh, I don't know.
Okay, no, I didn't see this. The only name that I've seen so far is Colt McCoy.
Yeah. That's a guy who's not on a roster. This would be a trade situation with the Saints if that's what they're trying.
Ooh, I like that way better. I was just complaining earlier that it seemed as if Jameis Winston and Cam Newton's names were not being thrown about. Yeah. Well, I like the sound of that. I like that Jameis Winston.
I mean, this is just one person reporting that. So, I'm sure we'll find out more. The trade deadline's 3 o'clock this afternoon, so I'm sure we'll hear more leading up to it. I cannot believe the Vikings won't do something because if they were 2-6 or 1-7, they probably would just stick with what they got and finish the season. But at 4-4 and with Justin Jefferson at some point getting ready to come back from injury, they're going to want to bring in somebody that gives them a fighting chance
Sure.
to try to make the postseason.
Jameis Winston or Cam Newton could do that. Since you switched gears to football, we'll keep going with it. Monday Night Football, Detroit beat the Las Vegas Raiders.
Yep. Jamar Gibbs looked great last night.
I didn't watch any of the football games, so I'll go along with whoever Jamar Gibbs is.
That's the running back that they drafted in the first round.
Here's the thing. Okay, while we were talking about quarterbacks, here's an interesting question that was texted in from a listener. Why don't the Vikings look at the Canadian Football League for a quarterback? I don't know.
You know, that's a good question.
Why
I'm
don't they?
I'm sure they scout that stuff. I'm sure they probably have a handle on that. There might be contracts involved. I don't know how you do any sort of trade with a Canadian football team. You can't really trade your guys to Canada. Yeah, so I don't know how you complete a transaction with a Canadian football team other than maybe cash. I don't know how you do
Maybe
that.
this guy that texted in is a Canadian. He's a fan of the Hamilton Tiger Cats or the Montreal Alouettes.
I know Bud Grant would look up there because Bud was always talking about how good.
Don't you love that
Canadian
team name, the Montreal Alouettes?
Alouettes.
Alouette. I don't know. What is that? What is an Alouette?
I don't know. Tell you.
And the Ottawa Red Blacks and the Toronto Argonauts. Josh played for the Argonauts.
Yep. Well, I tried out.
British Columbia Lions. Who else? Who am I missing? The Calgary Stampeders.
Yeah.
The Edmonton Elks. I don't know why they don't look to the... Okay, back to the baseball real quick. At the World Series last night, there was an Iowegian behind home plate at last night's World Series game.
An Iowegian?
Yes, there was. An Iowegian, just like yourself. And he was making smart-ass comments about that controversial fair catch call from the U of M Iowa game a couple weeks ago. It's
pretty funny.
I noticed it right away when I turned on my television. He's got his gold T-shirt on with the Iowegian Hawkeyes logo right on the boobs of his T-shirt, right? And I thought, hey, an Iowegian. The guy's holding up a sign that said, simply, it wasn't a fair catch.
So funny. They can't let it go.
I'm going to spend $700 on a front row ticket to go make my voice heard.
That's hilarious.
That was pretty good.
Come on.
That's up on 93X.com.
It doesn't have to be a fair catch, though. That's the whole point of that. The whole point is you can't make any sort of
See, he doesn't want to hear this, Randy.
Waving at all because that negates it.
He doesn't want to hear it. I heard that the seat he was sitting in went for around $1,500.
Oh,
I
dang.
believe it.
I bet.
So I'm guessing this is an Iowegian that's been living in Arizona for years and years. Or
Sure.
The article I read made it seem like, he drove from Ames or something just to make this statement. I doubt that. It's possible, but I doubt it. But that was funny. It wasn't a fair catch is all it says.
You're right, it wasn't, but you can't make any sort of movements like that. Otherwise, it negates the advancing of the ball.
See, Randy? Now you're starting it. Now he's gonna be at tonight's game, too, with a sign that says Randy can suck it or something like that.
He's going to be in the Care 11 backyard holding the sign.
Yeah, careful. Don't play with these people.
Good luck with that. Belinda will tackle him before he gets a chance.
What does this say? Did anyone give me an answer as to what an alouette is?
A bird.
Oh, it's a bird?
It's a skylark?
It's a beautiful skylark. Oh, okay. Yeah, people are texting that in. God, we got smart people in our listening audience.
That's for sure.
They all knew it was some kind of a bird. Dusty Baker is retiring from managing the Houston Astros or anybody else. And word is that our old partner, Ron Washington, might be taking that job in Houston.
Fantastic.
I would love to see Ron Washington take another managerial job. I love that guy. Sometimes he ducks out of the camera's eye and smokes some cigarettes.
Sometimes he's on camera and smokes a cigarette.
I remember when I was working in sports media, I had to go to the Rangers clubhouse after the game to get some audio, and I walked in, and first thing I saw, he had like 3 packs going of Cowboy Killers just right there on the manager desk.
That's how he does it.
Perfect.
Can you believe that Ron Washington is 71 running years old?
I cannot.
That's effed up.
Because that, in my mind's eye, those guys, John Castino, Ronnie Washington, those guys are just those young Twins players.
Yes.
It's just hard for me to imagine.
Gary Ward, Butch Weiniger.
Yes. Yeah.
Don Papa Bear Jackson. Those are the guys that I grew up watching play Twins baseball when I was a little kid. Who am I missing out there? Anyway.
Those are the guys I covered when I first started here, which is just amazing to me.
It was real nice. Was this last night the Pittsburgh Penguins had a pregame ceremony and whatnot for Adam Johnson, the kid here from...
I don't think they're the only franchise either that's been doing stuff
Okay.
out there.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Well, that was the club that he had a brief run with, Adam Johnson, the kid from Hibbing who died on the ice a couple nights ago. I know this is the first time we've had a chance to bring it up, so we apologize. God help us. Cubby, I'm going to snap.
It's frustrating. It's disrespectful is what that is.
So here's the thing. Nice of the Penguins to do that. It looked like a night. Randy, I saw you cover this last night on your news, and I think, did we talk about this a little bit yesterday? Hockey players in England, where this accident happened, are going to be required to wear neck guards.
Starting next year.
Starting next hockey season?
Yes.
Is that what it is? Okay.
That's correct, yes.
And I wonder how much of this you'll see in the NHL. We'll see.
Well, I saw TJ Oshie. We did an interview with TJ because I think he has an apparel company that also has created a underneath shirt that has the neck guard built into the shirt.
You're right.
And he's going to start wearing actually his own product in practice. I think the problem with these things are that they're not super comfortable.
Yeah.
And so players don't wear them because of that.
Mm-hmm.
But you might see, obviously, more players definitely consider it.
There might be some changes coming.
Mm-hmm. Like a grandfather rule where when you get into the NHL as a rookie at this time, you have to wear it. Everyone before that doesn't.
Yeah, like the helmet thing Foligno was talking about the other day.
The grandfathering in or out of the situation. Now, okay, did any of us have the courage to watch the video of Adam Johnson more or less dying on the ice?
I didn't want to see it.
Yeah, I watched it.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay, well, then I have to ask you an important question, Ashley, because I didn't watch it. I didn't think I could handle it. It's one thing to what Josh and I talked about this, I think, off air yesterday. It's one thing to watch the old Clint Malarchuk video from 1989 because the guy lived.
Agreed.
This individual, this Adam Johnson, died. That made it more difficult for me to even consider watching it. I did not watch it, so it's a very important question, Ashley. This was completely accidental, right?
Yes.
You didn't see anything in the video that looked intentional by any stretch of the imagination.
No, I did not. And then I have somebody that I follow on Twitter. He's been in hockey. He grew up in hockey. All his kids play hockey. He broke it down frame by frame.
Oh God!
And to explain, because some people were trying to say that it was intentional.
We got some text saying it was intentional.
And the way he broke it down, I mean, some of it was hard to understand because I don't know hockey in that way, but there's no way that this was intentional.
It can't. The reason I bring it up, the reason I asked the question is because I was just reading an article about how people, social media scumbags, are going after the other player who goes by the name of Matt Petgrave. They're going after him on social media. He's had to close down all of his
he shut them all down.
Social media.
Oh, that's awful.
Can you even imagine for a second what this guy must be feeling? And then you've got strangers from all over the world trying to claim that you're a killer, that you murdered somebody. I can't even fathom how you grow the balls big enough to say something like that.
Well, I can tell you, every
it's
text
easy to do when you're on social media.
It is easy to do.
Right?
Yes, it is.
Every text we've received this morning is from someone who believes he did it on purpose.
Are you kidding me?
Well,
do I have to watch this?
I didn't, because I assume the family probably doesn't like that it's out there, aside from you said, how graphic it is. But
I'm going to say this. I have not seen the video, okay? But somebody in our newsroom who I trust a lot, and I'm not going to say the person's name, he's one of our reporters, watched the video and said there is some question as to whether he did it on purpose or not.
Well, the cops are investigating.
Not trying to hurt him, but did raise his leg up, on purpose. So I have not seen the video.
I guess I have to watch it now.
But if this guy is telling me he thinks that there is some question on whether he did it on purpose or not, then I'll take that. So,
okay, I
don't
guess
know.
now I have to watch it if there is some question. I find it very difficult to believe.
I still will not watch it. But that's you watch it, then maybe you'll have a different opinion or the same opinion. I don't know.
Yikes!
And according to the Brother and Sisterhood, part of people's opinion of it, aside from just what they saw on video, is apparently he has a reputation for being a dirty player.
I heard that too. Yes.
Okay.
All right, we got one person here who said via text so far that says they don't think it looked intentional at all. I mean, obviously he didn't want to kill the guy.
Well, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I never in a million years would imagine that it would be intentional, which is why I asked Ashley, who has seen the video. But now that I'm hearing some people think there could have been something shady going on here, I don't want to watch it, but I guess I'm going to have to because I need a definite answer on this now. I never in a million years thought there'd even be a question. I mean, and let's be... There's a big difference between a dirty hockey player and someone who would intentionally try to kill somebody.
Yeah.
There are
or
plenty...
Or intentionally try to hurt somebody.
Right.
Not necessarily kill somebody.
There are
intentionally try to hurt somebody.
plenty of hockey players in the history of the game who were considered dirty, who were doing their job. Right. I know that's a little bit of a thing of the past now. The goon, the enforcer. It's
exactly. That's what you're talking about. That's not what this is, I don't think. Right?
Right. You know what? I guess I don't know. I guess I have to watch the video. That's why I asked. And now that there are conflicting opinions, we'll check it out.
If the guy's trying to be a goon, though, that's going to be more of fists and a fight as opposed to something else, right?
Usually, yes.
Or maybe hitting somebody with their stick.
Usually, yes. I'll be damned. Wow. That shocks me. Shocks me that there's even a question. Well, there you go. Oh,
by this time tomorrow, the Vikings will have a new quarterback.
You're fairly certain of that?
I think so.
I think most of us think that, right? They're not going to stick with Dinkus number 1 and Dinkus number 2, whoever these
Jaron Hall. The rookie's not in a position. I mean, like I said, the situation is they're 4-4, so they've got a chance to do something here, and you've got the greatest receiver in the game who's coming back from injury, and he wants to be able to compete, right? So, yeah, there's a lot of factors at play here.
Well, that'll be something. You know who I'm rooting for? Who's your top pick, Randy? Of all the quarterbacks?
I would say Jameis Winston would be their best bet.
Yeah,
from what I've seen out there, I would say he would be. And apparently he's friends with Jefferson. Apparently they work out together, too. So there's a little bit of chemistry and relationship there.
Yeah, Jameis Winston struggled for a while, and then he went and got LASIK, and he looked fine to me. So I think it was LASIK,
is pretty hilarious.
right?
Yeah, that's pretty hilarious. And he all of a sudden realized, I just can't see. That's the problem.
I knew I was missing something.
I have that problem all the time.
Hey, brother and sisterhood. Right now on the Luther Bloomington Kia text line, text slashing, SLASHING, slashing to 651-989-9393 for a shot to win tickets to the Minnesota Wild versus New Jersey Devils game this Thursday at the XL Energy Center. Tickets furnished by Minnesota Wild. This keyword is good today, October 31st until midnight. Good luck and happy Halloween.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show.
Our experienced and certified technicians at Standard Heating have been trusted to keep our fellow Minnesotans comfortable and confident for over 90 years. We're ready to do the same for you, providing comfort you deserve since 1930.
And now is a great time to join their team. Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is currently hiring experienced and entry-level HVAC technicians, dedicated to improving the work-life balance of their employees by providing benefits that include parental leave and 401k match. Apply today at standardheating.com.
Half-Assed Morning Show.
Come and play with us, Daddy, forever and ever and ever.
Spooky.
Those gals have been giving me the creeps since I was a young kid. The two twin sisters in The Shining, man. That's tough for me to take.
And you like twin sisters usually.
Yeah, 9 times out of 10.
And you've been with some freaky ones.
Not those two. The way they're torturing Danny. I'm telling you, still to this day, when I watch that scene, I get a little chill up my spine. Here we go. It's the Half-Assed Morning Show. 8:28. It's Halloween. Don't you know? The pumpkins are carved. Last night, me and my buddy Lou competed in a pumpkin carving contest at the YZ American Legion.
How'd it go?
We did all right. I mean, we carved a pumpkin.
Confirmed pumpkin carved.
There were some really elaborate setups. We didn't factor at all in the top 3 places, and we didn't expect to. I mean,
What was in the top 3? How good were they?
Oh God, some of them were very good. My favorite was, and I saw this coming from this couple because the gal part of the couple is a big Barbie fan. She went mental for the movie and everything. Right, the movie came out a couple months ago. They got their pumpkin, they went outside and immediately painted the pumpkin pink. Okay? And then they hauled it back into the ball.
Start.
And I knew something was Barbie related. I knew something Barbie related was coming because I know these two. And then they carved a square into the face of the pumpkin, almost like a movie screen. And then inside the pumpkin, they gutted it out, of course. Inside the pumpkin, there was a naked Barbie with a mirror in the background and a stripper pole, and there were little miniature $100 bills.
That's hilarious.
On the inside of the pumpkin. They won. That was Barbie the stripper, fetching all those bucks. Me and Lou tried to make a cat out of our pumpkin, and I maybe I'll take a picture of it tonight and I'll send it to you.
Yeah, do it.
We did our best. We're not very good at it. So the pumpkins are carved, the costumes are ready to roll, the candy, the beer drinking, the hell raising. And then when it's all said and done, you and your partner tear each other to pieces in the bedroom, right?
That's the dream, isn't it?
Is this a big sex night? Is Halloween a big sex night?
Yeah.
I think for some people, yeah, especially
Most
the single
definitely.
folks, who go and meet somebody in a sexy naked Barbie costume or something like that.
That's what you always tried to find, one of those. My wife isn't interested in me in that way anymore, but there was a time.
It's
Not
funny
even really that long ago.
you make it seem like she's interested in a lot of other guys that way, though.
Well, she appears to be, yeah.
But those other guys can't give her the companionship that Cubby does.
That's right.
It's all about companionship after a while. Some of you younger folks, you'll learn that. You'll be bored with each other and just need a good companion. Here's the deal. Love Honey. They got a website, right? I've heard that a million times. Love Honey.
They sell all of the stuff you might be interested in.
They sell the pornos and the dildos and stuff. Love Honey. They've put together something or another here about sex positions you might want to try on Halloween. All right. And of course, at the same time, they're trying to sell their products, and that's kind of where they go with this. No big surprise. They'll get cute with some different sex positions that they want you to try on Halloween, but also at the same time, check out our double-ended oak dildo for $79.95. So here's the deal. They say it should be orgasms that have you screaming, not scary costumes tonight. You deserve world-rocking orgasms all year round. But seeing how it's Halloween, why not make your sex positions on theme? On theme.
That keeps it fun, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, here are suggestions for what they call spooktacular sex this Halloween. They want you to try something here called the Broomstick ride. They want you to try the Broomstick ride.
What could that be?
See, here's the problem. And tell me if I'm wrong, Josh. Whenever we've gone through these lists before of sex positions, I could sit here all day and say, well, you put your partner down on a flat surface and you pull her hips this way and you go there. You can't picture it, can you?
No,
it's difficult. I'm not going to sit here and describe all these, where you put your leg and her hips after, because it's just impossible to follow.
I think the Broomstick, that first sentence in there I think people would get that.
Okay. I'm not going to give you the full descriptions because
it goes on and on and on.
I can't even follow what I'm saying after a while. You put the chair this way and you bend back 90 degrees. It's just, if this was a television show, it'd be much easier to put up a picture. It's radio. It's very difficult. Okay, the first line you say to the broomstick ride will help folks out. Have your partner lie on a narrow surface like a bench. Plant your feet on either side of the bench. Oh, okay. And then you mount your partner reverse cowgirl style.
Oh, I get it. Yeah, so they're in like a crab position.
See, this is what I'm trying not to do, Ashley.
Yeah.
I don't know you see what I'm saying? What's a crab position?
That's usually, do you mean condition, like you get after sleeping with somebody who's unclean? That's a crab condition.
Whoops.
It's more or less reverse cowgirl on a bench.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And then, like I said, they're also trying to sell their vibrators and butt plugs. So to add a little bit of extra something to this position, they say go ahead and buy the Love Honey X Romp Switch Clitoral Suction Stimulator.
There's a lot happening there.
I just found out about those a couple of years ago. The suction aspect. I didn't know that was a thing. Was everybody else aware of that way before me?
I think so, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I found out about it a while back.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's been quite a few years. I'll tell you this. You want to live alone if you're going to operate one of those damn things. Because I'm telling you right now, they make a racket.
Are they noisy?
Jiminy Christmas, I couldn't believe it.
So, when you're providing, I don't know how much I can say without. Are you supposed to vacuum down there or what?
Sometimes. It depends.
Yeah,
It's a move. It's a move.
It's
yeah.
a move. Like, if that move is not made, is it disappointing?
No.
Okay, so it's not like something that, well, wait, you're doing it totally wrong. You forgot this one that
Yeah, it's
everyone
not
does.
necessary.
All right.
Has anyone else heard one of those suction machines go off?
Yeah,
No.
they're loud.
It'll.
They make such like little small quiet ones now.
Oh, okay. Well, the ones that I've seen in action, by damn, you'd think the roof is coming down or something. It's all right. How about the spider position this Halloween?
I don't think I could do that at my age, but sure.
Yeah, this one's very difficult to describe. They say it's easier if both of you have vaginas. If that helps anybody.
On.
Yes, if that helps anybody. And listen to this. Okay. And if you both have vaginas, if you're trying the spider position, they want you to check out on their website the Lifelike Lover Luxe Posable Realistic Vibrating Strapless. I'm not even to the product yet. The Lifelike Lover Luxe Posable Realistic Vibrating Strapless Strap-On.
Oh. Strapless strap-on.
That's right, Wapple. You didn't know there were strapless strap-ons?
No.
They are fascinating. As we're rolling through some sex positions for Halloween, courtesy of the perverts at Love Honey, how about we go bobbing for apples? This is an oral sex technique.
Yeah.
Bobbing for apples. Okay.
You're familiar?
That's just what it would make sense.
This one is fairly easy to describe. And also, it sounds like a recipe for a broken nose. Tie or cuff your wrists behind your back and then go down on your partner?
Oh, no, I would face plant.
Yeah. You're going to lose a tooth.
Or an eye.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh, yeah, really?
No. No one's tying my hands behind my back and then having me go down skis. I'm going to end up breaking something. Let's see what tool they have in mind for this. Oh, it's some flavored lube. You have a favorite flavored lube? Anybody? Go ahead, just shout it out.
Jalapeno.
None of them ever taste how they're supposed to. It's stupid.
Yeah, I'm going to go with my favorite flavored lube. I'm going to go with Small Town Cafe Bacon and Eggs.
Yeah. Oh, man, that sounds good.
Some mashed potatoes.
Maybe what's that other dish that I got a buddy at? We have breakfast. Corned beef hash. That's my
Yum.
favorite. It's my favorite flavored lube.
Hollandaise sauce.
Corned beef hash with hollandaise sauce.
Oh, I just
and
had some of that over the weekend.
Side of sausage patties. Okay, so if you're going to cuff your wrist behind your back and try to go downsies, Jesus, I don't know why. You better have some decent abs, I think, for that to keep your skull from cracking open. They're suggesting some flavored lube. Oh, you probably heard of this one. The Doc Johnson flavored lubricants. Doc Johnson, I've heard of them before. Okay. X marks the spot is another sex position for Halloween. X marks the spot. This one is all about, can I say this on the radio? Your name again is Josh.
Maybe.
Memorable. No, that's not the word.
Like if I was going to go 30, 40 yards for a pass.
Sure.
I'm going deep.
There you go. There you go. This is about depth. This position. X marks the spot. It's about depth.
By the way, it would take me a while to get that 30 to 40 yards, but I could catch the ball.
I got exhausted just hearing you say that.
And again, with the toy that they suggest, it might align itself perfectly with these different Halloween sex positions. They're going with the old vibrating C-ring. Okay? The vibrating C-ring.
That kind of thing frightens me. One of those.
Well, we've had C-ring conversations before on this program. If you remember, for years we had C-ring Conversation Thursday. We would always cover it on Thursday more. No,
commercial free. The whole thing.
Commercial free.
Nobody wanted to sponsor it.
Vibrating C-ring Conversation Thursday. I always thought they're just painful. They hurt.
That's what because they got to be tight to work, correct?
Got to wrap that thing up there pretty tightly.
I'd be afraid it gets stuck.
They hurt, and there is some fear of stucking. There is. Stucking. So, but go ahead if you want to try it, and you want the top-of-the-line vibrating C-ring. This is named after somebody. Maybe we should look this person up. The Tracey Cox Supersex Silicone Vibrating Love Ring. Tracey Cox must be a big wheel in the porn industry.
Must be.
I would imagine. Or in the adult toy industry. Werewolf position. Doggy style-ish. This is doggy style-ish. But this is where they go with this. Who's up for this? Why not don your favorite animal costume, get on all fours, and have your partner attack you from behind like a werewolf?
That sounds fun.
You're diving into the world of, I guess, cosplay? Is that what that is?
Yeah, that would work. Mm-hmm.
Okay, cosplay. You're diving into that.
Maybe a little furry action.
And there's a vibrator for the werewolf position that'll help things out. Oh, it's the Love Honey Extra Powerful Multi-Speed Mains-Powered Magic Wand Vibrator.
Yeah, it looks like the one, the classic one, right?
Oh, okay.
The Hitachi or whatever it is.
Those things already make enough noise, and now you need extra power?
Are those loud?
Yeah.
I mean, do they charge by the letter with these sex toys or what? Remember, Josh, when we were growing up, when you look in the back of, what was that magazine we all got delivered to our college dorm in the late 80s and early 90s? Somebody help me out. It was filled with pornos and dildos and stuff. God dang it. Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve. We got that delivered to our house up at St. Cloud State every 3 days, it seemed. We had a new catalog of Adam and Eve. Remember back in the day, Josh, these products were just called Big Fat Dildo.
Yeah, blue dildo.
Yeah,
red
blue
dildo.
Right.
Bigger dildo.
Biggest dildo.
I do like the name. The names are so long, it reminds me of Ralphie in A Christmas Story asking for that rifle.
Oh,
It just keeps going and going and going.
In this case, it's the Love Honey Extra Powerful Multi-Speed Mains-Powered Magic Wand Vibrator. Wow. Finally, this is for young people. I mean, I guess all of this would be for young people. That was silly of me to say. This is all a young person's game, all these wacky positions, and then you fire up the flaming C-ring and things like that, you know. But this is for a young couple who maybe hasn't had a hell of a lot of sex together just yet. They call this last gimmick purgatory. This is more of a foreplay suggestion rather than a position.
Sounds scary.
Yeah.
It's not that scary.
No, thank you.
Right. And that's kind of where I'm going with this. So you pick your location of choice, whether it be your own house or a Halloween house party, or you go to a nightclub, okay? You get dressed up in a sexy costume, you do, and so does your partner. And then from the moment you get into costume, you cannot kiss or touch each other all night long.
Oh, that would frustrate me.
So that's because you're young. So you go out, you want to maintain a lot of eye contact. You're dancing sexy, maybe, Ashley, out on the dance floor by yourself, or maybe with another man, right?
Uh-oh.
And then your man hits the dance floor with another lady or whatever, but the two of you cannot kiss, cannot touch, get super close at times, but no touchy touch. And the theory is, once you get home, you tear each other limb from limb because you're just so wildly frustrated and sexually charged by all the... You see why I say it's for young people?
Yeah.
You get a couple that's been together for 5, 6, 10, 15, 20 years. What, we can't touch for a few hours? Not a big deal.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I kind of forget that you can at those occasions. And it would weird me out if my wife's making eye contact with me.
Yeah, quit looking at me.
I would assume, she must want to go because she just keeps trying to make eye contact.
Or you're thinking, did I forget to pick up the kids at school today?
Yeah.
What have I done wrong?
Yeah,
Tell me something.
she's pissed at me about something.
Did I forget her
booger hanging?
birthday? Do I have a boog hanging? Yeah, that's not a bad one. So there you go. If you're looking to really burn up the sheets tonight on Halloween night.
Well, I think we provided some good ideas.
Oh, I think we have.
For me, the broomstick one seemed like the most fun.
Broomstick,
just pull out that weight bench and go for it.
I know why.
Weight bench would be perfect for that.
Yeah, you like the broomstick, Cubby, because all I think is asked of the male is to sit still.
I can handle that.
Lie on your back and sit still.
I'm an expert.
Brace yourself and brace yourself.
This is it, Jennifer. Your big breaking TV. Welcome to prime time, bitch.
The 93 Ags Half-Assed Morning Show.
Freddy Krueger coming off with the mouth like
That's
that?
the line, right? Welcome to prime time, biznatch.
And then he throws her into a television?
Yeah, he
mean.
is the television.
He is
kind of bashes her in there.
Again, I don't get the Freddy Krueger thing, but I don't need to repeat that again. Here we go. It's 8:54. We're creeping up towards the close of this special Halloween broadcast of the 93 Ags Half-Assed Morning Show. Thank you so much for hanging around with us. We just had a fun conversation about different sex positions you can try on Halloween if you're the type of couple that likes to, give her.
Anyone going to take one for the team this evening?
and
Try
get
it
her.
out?
It sounds like a blown hamstring just waiting to happen.
It
Some of
does.
those.
That's why I said take one for the team and try it out.
Yeah, it does sound like,
Come in a wheelchair,
Yeah.
we know what happens.
Well, that'd be a pretty cool way to end up in a wheelchair, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
You saw the slow motion of Cousin's Achilles a couple days ago, right? that does not look pleasant. That'd be the end result if some of us tried these wacky ass Halloween sex. I got some text messages on Halloween sex positions. This is a cold-blooded text message right here. A listener says, "Didn't Lorena Bobbitt invent a fun Halloween sex move?"
Oh boy,
was that on Halloween when she did that?
I didn't know that. If it's true,
Is that true? Someone looked that up. The Lorraine Bobbitt, John Bobbitt penis cutting. Was that on Halloween? Because that was a cold move.
Yeah, that's.
She cut his pecker off for him. If you're a young person and don't know the story,
And then chucked it out of a car window,
Yeah,
right? So they
into a
couldn't find
field.
it.
I think she did. She flicked it out a car window, and doctors had to make him a new penis out of his elbow skin or something. I don't remember.
Looked like it happened June 23rd, 1993.
Oh, Halloween
okay.
of 93.
It was Halloween of 93.
Game Hen Jesus is going to take one for the team and try the broomstick, and he'll let us know how it goes tomorrow.
Awesome.
That's the one that intrigued me the most.
Yeah.
That one I could pull off without blowing hammy. Actually, I might be able to find a way.
If my wife was still attracted to me and wanted to make love to me in any way, I would ask for that tonight.
Well, fingers crossed for you, pal.
Maybe
Not going to happen, but thank you.
Maybe what got this individual thinking that the Lorena Bobbitt thing from, 30 years ago, maybe what got them thinking that it was a Halloween thing was that eventually John Bobbitt got a penis back. I don't know how they built him a penis, but the doctors built him a penis. And then he did go on to do a couple of adult movies, and I watched one of them, and it was called Frankenpenis, which of course has a, Frankenstein and Halloween kind of go hand in hand, so maybe that's what they were thinking. Am I the only one who watched Frankenpenis?
I believe
I've never seen it.
In a room full of 11 other guys, I think, at a beer party?
That's how a lot of those types of porns go, right? It's just a gathering of gentlemen. I mentioned before in college, the seniors, they had a porn and spaghetti night every Friday night. They'd get together and eat some spaghetti and watch a pornography together. Maybe they watched, it's right around that time, so maybe they did watch Frankenpenis.
Did you know that iced tea is in Frankenpenis?
What?
Yeah, it says right here on the cast, iced tea.
I'm going to have to go along with it.
The iced tea, Mr. T, Mr. Iced Tea, I should say.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was 30 years ago, Wapple, so I don't remember seeing the gorgeous iced tea in that motion picture. What other text came in about Halloween sex this and Halloween sex that? Oh, you know how we were talking about flavored lube?
Yep.
Let's see if you can taste this just by having me say it out loud. Avocado toast flavored lube.
Ew.
That's one for the young people.
That doesn't sound delicious.
And then I love this text message. A listener has made up their own Halloween sex position. It says, what about the hoe kiss poke this position? They go on to say, get it? It's like hocus pocus?
That's good.
And then they close out with one of my favorite ways to close out any text message. I'll see myself out.
I enjoy that as well.
So here we go. So now after today we go home. We relax a little bit. Some of us are going to get into costumes. Some of us have to walk kids around a neighborhood. Some of us will just be staying home, handing out the trick-or-treat candy to the kids and this. After today, this is how it goes now, right? We switch abruptly to the holiday season, don't we?
Oh, it's already happened at stores.
Yeah, it has.
Immediately to Christmas.
Christmas stuff has been out now for a couple weeks or more at certain places.
I love it.
I was at Target a few days ago, and the Halloween stuff, it kind of just been pushed to the side, like one jammed aisle, and the trees were everywhere.
I don't support it at all. I think it's wrong to just...
Thanksgiving gets screwed, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does kind of get overshadowed.
Because now it's not really Thanksgiving. It's Black Friday and Cyber Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Which, by the way, has already started somehow.
Yes, it has.
There's got to be a gap of dead time. I think it's wrong that we just, November 1st, bingo, we wish you a happy holidays. It's not right.
November.
You don't hit that point until Thanksgiving is over.
And then radio stations are racing to play the Christmas music.
I think one in town started in June this year.
Are you serious?
No, I was going to say, it's not too far from the truth in a way. I mean,
I believed it.
Why is it that we now here in America just abruptly fly straight into the holiday season after Halloween is over? No exaggeration. That's how it's been the last couple of years. Now, I know why companies might do it because they're trying to make money. They'll start their Christmas specials as soon as Halloween is over. They're trying to make a few bucks, trying to gain customers. But is it because the real world so miserable now that we need to be distracted by these kinds of things?
I think there's a lot to that for sure.
It's been going that way for a while, though. Yeah, I mean, it is crazy.
Has it been more than just? It seems to me the last few years is when we just fly right into Santa Claus and Rudolph, the stupid whatever his name is again.
My dad passed 10 years ago, and I remember him complaining about it.
Oh yeah,
yeah, that used to frustrate him. And, especially Thanksgiving. Like, what the heck, man? Where did Thanksgiving go? Nobody cares anymore.
No.
There's been some studies done. I don't know if they're how trustworthy they are, but they've said that people that decorate for Christmas early are happier, and I think it's because of that. Like, it just gives you a little bit of joy, something to make you happy, something small.
Whatever it takes, whatever it effing takes.
Yeah.
So there you go. Happy Halloween and happy birthday to Ashley.
Yeah, happy birthday, Ashley.
Happy birthday,
Thank you so much.
You know what? You've grown up.
What do you mean?
Because you haven't tried to force any birthday garbage on us.
Yeah, no. Yeah, it's this year feels a little different.
You love your birthday.
I absolutely love my birthday.
You've bothered us before, months ahead of your birthday, to talk about your upcoming birthday. Here we are on your birthday, and you haven't forced any of that on us.
Although last week I did mention that Halloween was coming up, and you got mad at me that I didn't mention your birthday in conjunction with Halloween.
It sneaks out sometimes.
The other thing I noticed is she's not dressed up this year.
No,
I'm
I'm not.
Every year's past, she's been dressed up for Halloween, too.
Yeah, why didn't you?
I was like, whoa.
I don't know. I wasn't really feeling it. I have bat leggings on, though.
Yeah, I
That's
did notice the
something.
leggings. Those are cute.
And my socks are Halloween socks, too.
Wapple, why don't you get in your birthday suit for Ashley's birthday?
Yeah,
That
Wapple.
makes so much sense.
On the idea
Here we
of going right into Christmas, Shy Jesus said, we're supposed to take the decorations down? Yeah, I suppose some people do, after Christmas. That's another thing that'll piss people off in the neighborhood.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Leaving the lights up.
Unfortunately, we do have some sad news from Not a Morning Guy Jesus. We lost a member of the puppyhood this week.
Oh.
He had to put down one of his best friends and a very good boy, Boo. So our condolences to Boo's family. That's tough. Thanks to our friends at Goodmanson, who did a great job shoveling and salting the 93X sidewalks that rock this morning. Of course, we appreciate the plow drivers out there clearing the roads for all of us. Happy birthday to Jessie from Looks Like Jesus. Happy birthday to Smashley again. She's 26. And as we announced yesterday at this time, Creed are reuniting for Treasure Island's 2024 Summer Concert Series. Going to be a big show. Creed with special guests Three Doors Down and Finger 11. Saturday, August 17th. Tickets on sale Friday at TI.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. 93
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. New episodes drop each weekday. If your podcast platform has ratings, go ahead and give us 5 stars and maybe give our enemies 1. Thanks, and here's a word from our sponsor.
Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is currently hiring experienced and entry-level HVAC technicians. Apply today at standardheating.com.